Welcome to downtown San Rafael, everybody. It's another night of San Rafael Pacific's live baseball on Channel 30. Marin TV, once again, on the air. Tonight, the Sonoma Stompers are here at Albert Field to take on the San Rafael Pacifics. Both teams tied for first place, 11-7 in the conference, and this is going to be an undisputed heavyweight, a bloodbath of sorts. Well, it's sort of an early season bloodbath. Both teams 18 games into it. Yours truly, Stuart Horn. Max is alongside to give us a hand with analysis for the first 3 innings. We've got a couple of other Dominican broadcasters, and of course, part of the association between Dominican University, the Pacifics, and Community Media Centers of Marin is how we get this broadcast started. And what a perfect night. It's about 74 degrees. And we're going to have baseball. It is Satchel Paige night. Now, Max, I don't know if you know much about Satchel Paige, but there's a lot of good information that if you're on your way down to the park, you can get it at the main entrance. They're handing out just tons of information. Why Satchel Paige? Well, a brand new book has just been released, and the author is here talking to the crowd right now about Satchel Paige. Hall of Famer Satchel Paige. But interestingly enough, Paige pitched here at Albert Park in August of 1967. August of 1967. Imagine that. Here's the big thing. He was 60 years old when he did it, playing professional ball with the Indianapolis Clowns, known as the world's greatest traveling team. And in 1967, that was their 38th year, the Indianapolis Clowns, of traveling around the country and playing baseball. Paige pitched for the team and pitched right here at Albert Field.
He threw more than 100 no-hitters.
More than 100 no-hitters, if you can imagine that. Pro ball players, as you know, man, they would kill themselves to have even a single no-hitter in their career. More than 100? Well, they are honoring the great one, Satchel Paige. Tonight, Pacifics and Sonoma in a gigantic game. If you were with us 2 nights ago, the Pacifics got past the Pittsburgh Diamonds right here at Albert Field to run their record up, and then lost last night. So the Pacifics, coming off of a tough loss last night, look to get past Sonoma tonight. And whoever wins tonight, Max, right here tonight, will be the undisputed heavyweight champ of the league thus far. Now, we're just in the first half of the conference, and here's how things work. The team that wins or has the best record at the end of the first half of play, which is mid-July, will be automatically entered into the championship series at the end of the season. That team will play against the team that has the best record of the second half. Makes sense, right? Of course, if the same team in the first half and the second half have the best records, then there is no championship series. They win the championship, they get the pennant, and they get the ring. The Pacifics, this is their 7th year since the inaugural season, 2012. Pacifics have won it 3 times in 6 years. Not a bad record. But now, in the conference, there are 2 new teams this year, the Napa Silverados and the Martinez Clippers. Both teams in their very first year. So now it's that much tougher to win a championship, because in the last 6 years, there's only been 4 teams in the conference. Got it?
Got it.
Max is looking to be a broadcaster and had his first opportunity on live television 2 nights ago, and I listened to it. I watched it back. I had DVR'd it, in fact, because, of course, we're live on Channel 30 in Marin. And you were great. I think it's going to be better tonight. It's warmer, and now you are familiar with the players, and that always makes things a little bit easier. Speaking of the players, for the Sonoma Stompers, who are managed by Zach Pace, the great Pacific Zach Pace, who was a part of all 3 championship teams, Zach Pace, will be sending Eddie Mora-Loera to lead things off, and he'll start at second base. Marcus Bradley will bat second and play center field. which is where Zach Pace used to play.
We are now officially
At first base and batting third will be Daniel Comstock. DHing in the 4-hole is Daniel Baptista.
We invite you to visit
Batting fifth in left field is Kenny Meimersdorf.
and pick up your own signed copy
Batting
of this
sixth
book.
in right field is Miles Williams. Cam Stewart will bat seventh and start at third base, with Mitchell Ho catching tonight for the Stompers, batting eighth. Rayson Romero will start at shortstop and bat ninth. Mora Loera, Bradley, Comstock, Baptista, Meimersdorf, Williams, Stewart, Ho, and Romero for the Sonomas.
Here are tonight's starting lineups.
For Matt Kavanaugh's Pacifics, Don Andre Clark is going to lead things off. Clark will start in center field, followed by Rando Moreno, the sure-handed shortstop, batting second. In the 3-hole is Javion Randall, left fielder, followed by Brent Gillespie. Gillespie went deep 2 nights ago in the cold gloaming of Tuesday night. The DH Gillespie in the 4-hole. Jake Taylor is at first base, batting fifth, with Zach Files starting tonight at third base, batting sixth. Mark Lindsay will bat seventh behind the plate, with Michael Staudinger starting tonight in right field, batting eighth. And Aaron Brill will start at second base, batting ninth. Clark, Moreno, Randall, Gillespie, Taylor, Files, Lindsay, Staudinger, and Brill.
Number 20, Mitchell Ho.
On the mound for the Pacifics will be Fernando Baez, a 1-1 record in 16 innings pitched, 26 strikeouts and 10 walks, a 3.94 ERA for Baez.
Number 38, Patrick Conroy.
Starting on the mound against the Pacifics tonight, as last broadcast when we had the Sonomas in the house, Patrick Conroy will start. Conroy is at 0-2 and 12 1/3 innings pitched, 10 strikeouts, 8 walks at 10.99 ERA. Conroy is here, and I'm always excited to see the big man pitch. Conroy, one of the great Pacifics in the history of the club. Now he plays for Sonoma. Shout out to Conroy's family and friends. I saw his dad here earlier, and it's just always so great to see Conroy and the Conroy family here at Albert Park. Although I'll say, it's not easy to see Conroy in an opposing uniform. After your experience the other night, Max, what are you looking for tonight for the Pacifics to get past a very tough group of Stompers?
Well, it was definitely a tough game last game. That was another important one. I really think they have a minute tonight. Came up really clutch last game, scoring a lot of runs late in the game. And if they just get ahead early, I think they have a good chance at pulling this one out.
So you like the idea of getting ahead early. I always like that strategy.
Well, who doesn't?
I don't think there's a manager in the world who wouldn't say it's a good idea to try to get runs on the board as early as possible and as many as possible, but you never know. Shout out to the CMCM group. The crew is on hand. Scott Calhoun and all of the people running the cameras. Scott Calhoun and all the people running the cameras tonight to bring you tonight's telecast, as we are just about ready for the national anthem, followed by baseball. A perfect night for baseball. An 8-mile-an-hour wind blowing over the left field wall as the Pacifics take the field for tonight's matchup. Matt Kavanaugh's Pacifics against Zach Pace's Sonoma Stompers, and we are ready for the national anthem.
The national anthem will be performed by Kiana Hester. Kiana has just
Kiana Hester is going to be attending Novato High School as a freshman in the fall, and she will be singing tonight's national anthem. For those of you at home, please rise.
At home and around the world, as well as our first responders right here at home, we present this rendition of our national anthem, performed by Kiana Hester.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proud broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Nothing like a beautiful version of the national anthem to get everybody stoked. A ton of people here at Albert Field in the stadium on Satchel Paige night, where they have named the third base plaza the Satchel Paige Plaza forevermore. Wow. Well, defensively for Matt Kavanaugh and the Pacifics, Javion Randall will start over in left field with Don Andre Clark in center. Michael Stoudinger will start tonight in right field with Zach Files at third, Rando Moreno at short, Aaron Brill at second, Big Jake Taylor at first base, Mark Lindsay behind the plate, and Fernando Baez with that 394 on the hill. Matt Kavanaugh is in the house, as you might expect, the great one, the manager of the Pacifics, who played himself for 2 years with the Pacifics, managing for the last 4. Kavanaugh, a 6-year guy as a San Rafael. Well, I am ready for baseball. There are some interesting notes on what's happening between these two teams. The Pacifics pitching have the lowest pitching staff ERA in the Pacific Association with a 4.08 ERA, first in strikeouts by a pitching staff with 193. The Stompers, offensively, are second in the league in home runs with 26. Although, interestingly enough, they're last in triples in the category of triples. However, they lead the league in walks, so the most discerning group of eyes in the league, you might think. It makes sense that it couldn't be too far off from that. But last in hitting average at 260. Isn't that interesting? So second in home runs, last in triples, the most walks, but the lowest average. They lead the league in strikeouts. So they lead the league in walks and they lead the league in strikeouts. How can that be, you might ask? Fourth in pitching ERA at a 5.64. We're ready for baseball, and here's the very first pitch from Fernando Baez. 7:15. 7:15, the time of the first pitch. 75 degrees here at Albert Park, as Eddie Mora-Loera is quickly behind in the count, 0-2. Fernando Baez working very quickly. Baez, a big right-hander, is 1-1 on the season in 16 innings pitched. A fastball is upstairs. It's 1-2 to the second baseman, Eddie Mora-Loera. Our home plate umpire tonight is Sal Lopez, with Gary Reichelmeyer out in the field. Baez working very quickly and gets Mora-Loera to swing over the top and fouled back a fastball.
Pacific's first base dugout, please. Brooks and Ethan.
Fifth pitch of the at-bat coming up right now.
Dressed like a Pacific.
Baez takes a long look into Lindsay. Lindsay flashes. And here comes Baez, the 1-2. Breaking ball is upstairs. 2-2. Marcus Bradley is on deck. Daniel Comstock is in the hole. Eddie Mora-Loera is batting 194. But he has some pop. He has 2 home runs and 10 driven in. And now he's run it full after being behind in the count, 0-2. Baez does not want to lose Mora-Loera, and he gets him swinging with a little slide piece, and that's how we get started, 1 away. Mora-Loera goes down on 7 pitches. Fernando Baez on the hill with that 3.94 ERA.
For Sonoma, center fielder number 4.
26 strikeouts against 10 walks. Well, make it 27 now. Here's Marcus Bradley, everybody. The center fielder in the 2-hole. Big curveball. The first snapped off by Baez tonight is in there for a called strike. The center fielder, Bradley, batting 267. 5 driven in with 1 away here in the top of the first. The fastball is upstairs, and now it's 1-1. Welcome, everybody, watching on Channel 30, AT&T, Channel 99, live in Marin. There's a little slider that's taken, 2-1. And, of course, watching online all over the world. Oh, we had a lot of people the other night, Max, check in from all over the country, in fact. Popped him up, third base side. Zach Files shades the eyes. Coming in behind him is Rando Moreno. 2 down. We had fans checking in from Houston, Texas, from Florida, Indianapolis, and Arizona, and Southern California. That was just Tuesday night. And those are just the people who are checking in on cmcm.tv/live. So we're streaming tonight and live in Marin. Here's Comstock. Daniel Comstock, the first baseman, takes the first pitch. A slider across the belt. Called strike. Comstock batting 324 in the top of the first. No score. And he swings at a fastball just across the knees. 0-2. As he was with Eddie Mora-Loera, Fernando Baez is ahead in the count and can now just maybe play with Comstock a bit. 2 away. Called strike 3. Woo. Fernando Baez bringing it 1-2-3 in the top of the first inning.
All right, fans, it's time for
As the Pacifics will be sending Don Andre Clark, Rando Moreno, and Javion Randall to get things started. Here in the bottom of the first, there's no score, as Matt Cavanaugh is going to be sending up the top of the order. Bottom of the first inning is coming up.
The toughest part of this contest is putting
And
on the pants.
we are preparing
They will put on the pants
our
of
on-field
Big Jake
synopsis.
Taylor. On your mark, get set,
And to
go.
give it to you live, everybody,
Come on, fans.
his first time for our mid-inning synopsis.
Look at those pants.
Here's Ethan,
Holy
everybody.
smoke.
Well, that was actually a pretty quick first inning. I wasn't all the way prepared, but Fernando Baez got the job done with a couple of strikeouts and a nice pop-up. He lived up to his score sheet so far, which is a 2-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio, and that's exactly what showed there in the first inning. Now we'll see how Patrick Conroy and the Stompers respond. And, of course, Patrick Conroy born in San Rafael, California, so let's see how he plays in his own hometown. Now back to you, Stu.
Yeah, that's right. Patrick Conroy, the San Rafael hero on the hill for the Sonomas. And we'll have it for you when we come back right here on CMCM's coverage of the 2018 San Rafael Pacifics. We'll be right back.
Last call to sign up.
Bottom of the first inning. No score. Patrick Conroy on the hill. Don Andre Clark to lead things off for Matt Cavanaugh's Pacifics. Conroy, the big lefty, gets ahead of Clark as Clark squares to bunt and fouls it. And the scoreboard, Max, reads 0-1, but Isn't it 0-2?
I believe it actually is, yeah.
All right. It'll be Don Andre Clark, followed by Rando Moreno and Javion Randall here in the bottom of the first. No score. Conroy, a two-time pitcher of the year when he was with the Pacifics. Chops it toward third. Tough play. Stewart's got it. Long throw in time. And that's how we get started. Boy, what a play by Cam Stewart at third base. A long throw and a strong one.
Definitely. That was a hard play to make with the chopper with the sun in the eyes, and then still having to beat a pretty speedy base runner. Yeah, great throw all around.
Yeah, it's a very good point. The sun is always in the eyes of the defenders on the left-hand side of the field. So Clark is gone, and here's Moreno, who takes right down the middle for a ball. Javion Randall is on deck. Bottom of the first inning, and no score. And that was pretty good work by Ethan in between innings.
Definitely. Great job by Ethan.
Conroy comes home, and Moreno offers at a high, hard one. 1-1. Moreno batting .250, has 11 RBIs on the season. A good crowd on hand. Thursday night baseball, perfect weather. 75 at first pitch. There's a breaking ball taken, 2-1. The heart of the Pacific's order is just brutal numbers-wise. Brutal against opposing pitching, I should say. Conroy, a breaking ball, third base side. Stewart again, longer throw, tougher throw. In time, good scoop on the back end. Comstock with the hook, 2 down. Well, 2 outs, both of them to the third baseman, Cam Stewart. And neither one of them easy plays. Both high choppers and long throws from deep in the hole. Here's Javion Randall. Randall batting .448. Has a little pop, a pair of bombs and 16 driven in. Left fielder for the San Rafaels. Brent Gillespie, the DH, is on deck. 2 down, bottom of the first. Conroy working quickly. And misses with a little slide piece, 1-0. Randall holds the bat very high. And he takes low, 2-0. Don Andre Clark, a chopper, a high chopper over to Stewart at third to lead things off, followed by Moreno with an almost identical play. And Stewart was up to the task. Next pitch from Conroy bounces off the plate. It's 3-0. The game on Tuesday night went 4 hours and 2 minutes. The way these two pitchers are working tonight, I wouldn't be surprised if this one is much quicker. A fastball is just poured in, and Randall is taking all the way, 3-1. Here's Conroy. There's another perfect fastball. Something, actually, late movement downward. That perfect screenshot we have from center field. And Randall just fouled it off, and for the first time tonight, Conroy goes full. Patrick, a little facial hair going on. I like that look. And he gets him with a fastball upstairs. Randall goes down, and Patrick Conroy matches Fernando Baez and his work in the top of the inning. Well, both teams send up 3.
Check out our new wine and beer stand.
And the Sonomas in the top of the second inning will be sending up their 4, 5, 6 batters in Daniel Baptista, Kenny Mimersdorf, and Miles Williams when we come back. But first, for the half-inning synopsis, we're going to send it down to the field right now on CMCM's coverage of the 2018 Pacifics. Take it away.
That's 1 inning in the books for us here at the Albert Park. It is a tied series between the Stompers and the Pacifics, so it's going to be an intense game. Conroy and Baez not wasting any pitches, trying to get 3 outs each inning, not wasting any time. They want to get this game done quick, and they want to get a W, get ahead in the conference. keep watching the game on CMCM.
Great work there, Jake. Excellent work. All right, everybody, we're going to have the top of the second when we come back right here on Marin TV. Well, Daniel Baptista is going to lead off for Zach Pace's Sonoma Stompers. Baptista swings mightily at a fastball. It fouls it back to the screen. His first at-bat here in the top of the second inning. Fernando Baez high on the hill. Oh, he reached back for something there but missed away. 1-1. Daniel Baptista will be followed by Kenny Meimersdorf and Miles Williams. No score. Both pitchers working very quickly.
Your attention, please.
As Baptista fouls it off of Mark Lindsay, who needs a moment. Did you play Little League, Max?
Pardon, sorry?
Did you play some Little League?
Oh, I did, in fact, yes.
Did you ever catch?
I did for one game. Did not go well.
Yeah, these guys, especially when it gets cold. There's a big curveball is taken away, 2-1. I caught for several years, in fact, in 1976 on the opposing field here. And I remember getting hit pretty hard by Jerry Goff, the father of the great Jared Goff, as Baptista goes down for the third strikeout of the night. 1 away here in the top of the second. Kenny Meimersdorf on his way to the hitting area. Yeah, catching is gratifying because you're part of every pitch, literally. It's also an easy way to get dinged up. And the other night when it was so cold out here, it got into the 50s. Tuesday night, just 48 hours ago, the catchers were both getting dinged up all over the place. Meimersdorf takes, and the home plate umpire, Sal Lopez, and it seems like his strike zone is shrinking as the game moves on. We're only in the top of the second inning. Meimersdorf batting .348 with 1 away. There's a fastball inside. 2-0. Baez a 3.94 ERA. With 1 away. And all of a sudden, either Sal Lopez doesn't believe that Baez is throwing the ball where he means to throw it, or in fact, he's not throwing it where he hopes to throw it. 3-0 with Miles Williams on deck. There's a breaking ball. Poured in for a strike, 3-1. Whenever you're that far behind in the count, you might as well go to your bread and butter. And Baez has a really nice slider. He just snaps it off with late movement away from the right-handed batting Meimersdorf. Here's the 3-1. There's a swing right over the top of an identical cutter. 3-2. Good old Albert Field. Satchel Paige threw here in 1967 at the age of 60. Imagine a professional ball player. Here's the payoff pitch, a full count, and Meimersdorf with a big hack, but just caught a piece of it. Baez is just working very quickly. He and Lindsay just seem to be on the same page. Satchel Paige. I've been waiting to say that. Here's the 7th pitch of the at-bat, and this gets fouled. No, it wasn't fouled off. It bounced off of Lindsay as Meimersdorf swings at strike 3, and it gets away from Lindsay. Meimersdorf steals down to first base.
Batting 6th for Sonoma, right fielder, number 18, Miles Williams.
Here's Miles Williams. Well, Baez, pitchers have to deal with the ups and downs of the game, as a throw over to first has Meimersdorf scurrying back to the bag. There you work, go 7 or 8 pitches get Meimersdorf to swing, and then your catcher loses it. And the batter is entitled to steal down to first base. And that's what you got right there. Pacifics with one away would love to get a ground ball, maybe over to Moreno, induce the double play. Williams ahead in the count 1-0 with Cam Stewart on deck. 2-0 no. 2-0 now to Miles Williams, the right fielder, batting .274 with 5 bombs and 13 driven in. And what would just seem to be very unfair is if somehow Meimersdorf were to score during this half inning after having struck out and then stole first base. Williams swings over the top of a breaking ball, 2-1. We're just in the top of the second inning. This game is only 19 minutes old. Check swing, and he definitely went around. And an appeal to the, an appeal to the field umpire, Gary Reichelmeyer. He says, no swing. And he went way back. We have the perfect vantage point to judge that particular swing. That check swing, he went around, don't you think, Max?
Definitely a very generous call on that one.
3-1. That's 2 unfortunate moments for the Pacifics already. And he walked him. So Baez doesn't get the check swing called strike 2. I cannot imagine why Sal Lopez needed to appeal to Reichelmeyer out in the field.
Yeah, definitely. That definitely broke the plane of the plate. Just an unfortunate call. Just an unfortunate call. Back-to-back unlucky calls on both. 2 back-to-back unlucky plays, causing 2 base runners already. Yeah, that's just pretty unfortunate to start the game out.
Meimersdorf at second. Miles Williams over at first base after the walk. And he's over there talking to Big Jake Taylor, who, I don't know what Taylor's saying to him over at first base. You can see him there, the right side of your screen. Those guys are talking. I wonder if Taylor's saying, everybody in the stadium saw you went around on that check swing. And he went way past the front of the plate. As Nick DeBar has made his way out to the hill to have a quick word with Baez. And Baez started there in the first, 1-2-3. And then started pretty strong here in the second, striking out Baptista.
For the Stompers.
But then Meimersdorf, who struck out, stole first base after the ball got away from Mark Lindsay, the catcher. And then Miles Williams, the first walk of the night. Here's Cam Stewart batting in the 7-hole. Stewart, the third baseman. A couple of tough plays for Sonoma in the bottom of the first inning. Swings at a breaking ball. Mitchell Ho is on deck. Stewart's batting 197. 1 long ball with 3 driven in, but he has a runner in scoring position now. And Meimersdorf out there at second base. There's something low and away. 1-1. Javion Randall out in left. Don Andre Clark in center, and Michael Stottinger in right. Files, Moreno, Brill, and Taylor from third to first. Lindsay behind the plate, and Fernando Baez. The 3.94 off-speed breaking ball is upstairs, 2-1. Baez with that 3.94 ERA. He's a cool customer, though. He's not panicking. Pacifics fans in the crowd panicking right now, a little bit. There's a fastball. He backed him up and a swing and a miss. 2-2. Yeah, I would say the Pacifics fans in the house, Max, some might be panicking at this point because of a couple unlucky breaks. You start to sense things. The momentum change, especially from the first. Here's the 2-2. Baez delivers indoors and got him swinging, 2 down. Well, 2 on and 2 down, and Mitchell Ho. Saunders out to the hitting area.
Mitchell Ho.
Ho, the catcher for the Sonomas, batting .250. Tied for second on the team in home runs with 4. 8 driven in. Breaking ball is taken outside. 1-0. Rayson Romero is on deck. Ho in the 8-hole. A lot of right-handed hitters in tonight's lineup for Zach. And a fastball is swung on and missed. 1-1. Ho tried to rake it out of here. A shout out to the front office guys at Media Row. Oh, there's a blistering fastball is swung on and missed. 1-2. The Pacific's front office guys, they do such a good job. And just tweeting every game. I get tweets all day. You follow the Pacifics on Twitter?
I don't particularly have a Twitter, but if I did, I definitely would.
Well, I'll tell you what. They send out a lot of good information. 1-2. Got him looking to end things. Well, after the unfortunate start, Max, Fernando Baez is able to hang with it. No damage done. 3 more strikeouts. 5 of the 6 outs so far registered by Fernando Baez have been Ks.
Yeah,
well, that's one way to get it done.
Yeah, definitely really dominant here to start the game. Despite the unlucky start on some unlucky breaks, he's been absolutely dominant with those strikeouts.
Coming up for Matt Kavanaugh's Pacifics, it'll be the 4, 5, 6 batters, Brent Gillespie, Jake Taylor, and Zach Files. And now we'll send it down to Ethan on the field. Take it away.
Well, that was a longer inning that time, but Fernando Baez decided to work out of a little bit of a jam. And, of course, in baseball, the numbers never lie, and that's exactly what happened. As Fernando Baez struck out 4 and walked 1, and he also bumped out his strikeout-to-walk ratio to 3-1. So now we'll see how the Sonoma Stompers respond here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. And now, I guess you're watching live coverage of the Pacific's 2018 season here on CMCM TV.
Well, Tuesday night's late inning hero, Brent Gillespie, has made his way out for the first time tonight against the big lefty, Patrick Conroy. Gillespie takes a ball to lead off the bottom of the 2nd, but there's no score, although in the top of the inning, the Sonomas were certainly threatening. Gillespie, a 308 hitter, takes a fastball, and it's 2-0. Gillespie has quite a bit of pop with 4 bombs and 17 driven in. And he chops one towards second. Up with it is Mora Loera. On to first, 1 away.
Once again, I need Ethan, Brooks, Sadie, and Sienna to the Pacific's first base dugout.
Here's Big Jake Taylor. Taylor's one of those guys, Max. I don't know if you've talked to him much, but you know, he's a very imposing, intimidating guy at the plate, but really a nice guy when you get a chance to just talk to him after the game.
First baseman, number 8.
Between the lines, he's all biz, and that's what you want out of your first baseman. A big slugger, Taylor, 1 bomb, 6 driven in, batting .319. 1 away, bottom 2, no score. First pitch, roped into the gap in left center. And diving forward is Meimersdorf. He can't get to it. It rolls all the way to the wall. Scooped up by Bradley and stopping at first with a huge turn. Taylor ropes the first ball. He sees the first pitch, and now he's aboard at first. And here comes Zach Files.
Yeah, some great coverage there from the center fielder to back up his left fielder after a missed dive. Was able to hold Taylor only to a single when that definitely could have been a double.
No, you're absolutely right. That's a very good point because Meimersdorf dove for it, and he was parallel to the ground. It was a do-or-die play out in left center. And when Meimersdorf missed it, Bradley was right there to back him up. Here's Zach Files. Something upstairs and away, 1-0. Mark Lindsay is on deck. Jake Taylor over at first base. The first hit, the first base runner for the center fellas tonight, as just in the last few minutes, Conroy has become enshrouded in the shadow. Long fly ball to center field. Bradley's there, and there are 2 away. Boy, Files hit it hard. But Marcus Bradley in center field was in perfect position.
Catcher, number 32, Mark Lindsay.
Here's Mark Lindsay, everybody, a 3-1-4 hitting catcher who platoons behind the plate with Ricky Gingras. And Lindsay has 4 RBIs on the season. A snap throw down to first base, and Big Jake dives back in safely. And the fastball from Conroy was snapped down by Mitchell Ho, the catcher. And now Conroy wants to know what was the call. And it was called a ball. And nobody was sure because the instant Ho received it, he heaved it down to Comstock at first. 1-0 with Stoudinger on deck. Oh, a little off-speed breaking ball. Oh, that was crafty out of Conroy. Boy, there's a reason he won the title twice when he was with the Pacifics. He's always a step ahead of the hitters. That's how you have a long career, and a storied one at that. 1-1. Curve ball falls into the hitting area, scooped up by Romero onto first, and that'll do it. Well, Lindsay goes down, 6 to the covering 3, and the Pacifics get their first hit, but that's all they can show for it. We go top of the 3rd inning already. The first 2 innings have gone quickly and rather quietly, to tell you the truth. It'll be Rayson Romero in the 9-hole. He'll be followed by Eddie Mora-Loera and Marcus Bradley, the 9-1-2 batters for Sonoma in the top of the 3rd inning. Still no score, and we'll send it down to Jake on the field.
And that was the end of our 2nd inning here at Albert Field. You know, Big Jake Taylor getting the first hit of the night, getting things started. You know, unfortunately, no runs, no points on the board yet, but things are just getting warmed up here at Albert Field, so stay tuned on CMCM. Back to you, Stu.
Do we know who the lady is standing next to you?
I do not.
Okay, well, we might want to get her name since she's on just about every half inning.
I'll ask next time.
No, that's good. She's videotaping the kids out on the field. All right, everybody, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with the top of the 3rd inning right here on CMCM's coverage of the 2018 San Rafael Pacifics. Top of the 3rd inning here in San Rafael, and still no score. Who's going to blink first? Will it be Patrick Conroy, the starting pitcher for the Sonomas, or Fernando Baez, who's out on the hill right now facing Rayson Romero, who's even in the count 1-1. Romero in the 9-hole. His first at-bat here in the top of the 3rd inning. No score. Upstairs, 2-1. Eddie Mora-Loera is on deck, and Marcus Bradley's in the hole. Conroy and Baez working very quickly tonight. It's nice to see the game just move right along. Low and away, and now Baez behind the count 3-1. Baez of that 3.94 has been near perfect so far tonight. Very high, just as I say how great he is, and his 2nd walk of the night has been issued.
Now batting for Sonoma.
Romero, the runner at first here in the 3rd. And here's Eddie Mora-Loera. 0 for 1 on the night. Mora-Loera struck out to lead things off. Game is 36 minutes old. That's about the time Mora-Loera batted last. Snap throw over to first base, and Rayson Romero is back in safely. The next pitch is high, 1-0. Mora-Loera batting 194. The leadoff batter with 2 bombs and 10 driven in. Everyday second baseman for good old Zach Pace. Oh, Pace. Certainly in the Pacific's Hall of Fame. As Mora Loera takes away 2-0. Pace, defensive center fielder of the year. His last 2 years as a pro before he retired, and really retired at the top of his game. A master's in kinesiology from Sonoma State. As Mora Loera takes a fastball right down the pipe, 2-1. And there's good old number 24 in your foreground. And that's Zach Pace. Now he's the manager of the Stompers. As Mora Loera swings wildly. 2-2. Mora Loera steps out and looks down to Pace. Pace is still in pretty good shape out there. Third base coach's box. Nice guys in pro baseball, that's for sure. Up and in, and it's full. At least at this level. You know, we work with the teams and get to know the guys, and Pace was one of those guys. He was with the Pacifics when they won it all in 2012 and 14 and 15. There's a snap throw over to Jake Taylor at first. Baez just wants to let Romero know he's thinking about him. Not a serious toss over there. And now I'm pretty sure Romero understands that Baez is thinking about him, because 2 snap throws over will do that. Baez now, full count, comes home, and he gets Mora Loera for the 2nd time tonight. And the runner goes, the snap throw down to second base, and sliding in safely is Rayson Romero. A stolen base. So Eddie Mora Loera goes down a strikeout swinging for the first out of this, the top of the 3rd inning. And here's Marcus Bradley. Now Matt Cavanaugh wants to have a word with the field umpire, Gary Reichelmeyer. And in this case, we're so far away from second base, Max. I don't know if you had an opinion on it, but it looked like a good throw, but it was also just a perfect head-first slide.
Yeah, that was definitely just one of the. It was a great slide. It was also a great throw, but the slide it was kind of like one of the swim slides where it goes around head first, touch the other end of the bag. I think it was just overall like a great slide, but it still was a pretty good throw as well.
It was close enough that Matt Cavanaugh had to go out and talk to Gary Reichelmeyer about it. Unlike that check swing earlier in the game against Miles Williams, that was clearly a strike, but it was that was clear to me, called a ball, as this is very high now to Marcus Bradley. But the stolen base by Rayson Romero, not as clear. And from here, I could not tell if he was safe or if he was out. It was a good throw, but it was also, as you mentioned, a very good hook slide to the outside of the bag. Bradley stands in, a man on, a man down. A curveball poured in, and Bradley was locked up 1-1. Oh, that was a nasty bender right there. Sonoma 11-7, tied with the Pacifics in first place. And that's where the Pacifics are comfortable. They like to be at the top of the standings as opposed to anywhere else. Pickoff play at second place, a snap throw. And Romero's in there. Scurries to the bag. He's safe. Bradley, even in the count, 1-1. Rando Moreno, the shortstop, sneaks in behind Romero at second, who's taking a gigantic lead. Almost insulting. Meanwhile, Bradley takes a fastball, and it's 1-2. Here's the 1-2, and it's chopped into left field, and it gets down for a base hit. Speeding around third, nope, stopping at third base, and a snap throw as the throw comes in to Zach Files. He throws it over to Jake Taylor at first base as Marcus Bradley takes a big turn, but stops at first. On the play, Rayson Romero took a gigantic turn at third base, but stopped. And now with runners at the corners and one down, you've got the heart of the order coming up for Zach Pace's Sonoma Stompers. Daniel Comstock in the 3-hole, batting .324. Comstock struck out looking to end things back in the first. Romero at third. Bradley at first. Baez comes home. Big bender. Called strike. Oh, man, that curveball is working. It's so off speed that it just tends to lock up the pitcher, the catcher. And sometimes the catcher, certainly the hitter. There's a fastball. He backs up the off-speed curveball and gets Comstock to swing. 0-2. Just one away as Sonoma threatens big time here in the top of the third. .324 hitter as Comstock takes. 1-2. There's a good view of the field. You can see how much of it is enshrouded in the shadows of Albert Park. Just a few beams shining through as the lights are on. Comstock steps back and fouls one first base side and out of play. Fifth pitch of the at-bat coming up as Comstock steps out and adjusts the batting gloves. Sometimes hitters do that because of the necessity of it, and sometimes just out of the habit of it. Baptista, the slugger, is on deck. Throw to first base. Bradley's back in there safely. Romero, the runner at third. Marcus Bradley at first. Comstock behind in the count, 1-2. Baez comes indoors, 2-2. Four home runs and 19 driven in for Comstock, the first baseman. 2 on and 1 down. Fernando Baez on the hill, comes home. Breaking ball towards second, underhanded for 1. Back onto first, a double play!
Moreno, Brill, and Taylor.
Well, Baez gets out of it, the old 6-4-3 inning ender. Just what the doctor ordered. The Sonomas had runners at the corners with just one away. And the Pacifics get out of it with a ground ball. Oh, there's nothing like a ground ball to short when you need it. Coming up in the bottom of the third inning, where there is still no score, it'll be Michael Staudinger, Aaron Brill, and then the top of the order in Don Andre Clark right here on CMCM TV. We'll send it down to the field now, and here's Ethan.
Well, Fernando Baez has been throwing a lot of pitches, but he's getting out of every single jam that he gets into. And in fact, the best stat to know today is that 6 out of the 9 outs recorded by the Pacifics today have been strikeouts. So the stuff is there. He just needs to control it a little bit better. But of course, a pitcher's best friend is never a bad thing, and that's exactly how he got out of this inning with a double play turned by Moreno and Brill. Well, now we'll see if the Pacifics can put something up on the board against Patrick Conroy. Well, that'll do it. Well, that'll do it for this half inning for CMCM's live coverage of the 2018 San Rafael Pacifics.
Welcome back, everybody. In the bottom of the third inning, still no score. Oh, what a massive pitcher's duel it's been tonight between Patrick Conroy and Fernando Baez. What a joy to watch. Here's Staudinger's first at-bat of the evening. And he takes away for a ball. Now he slashes a breaking ball into deep right field, but Miles Williams is there, 1 away.
Sydney, Dominic, Alina, Sophia, and Julia to the Pacific's first base dugout. for twist.
Well, Stoudinger hit it hard, and he hit it deep. He just not deep enough. Got it right to the base of the wall.
Batting ninth for your Pacifics.
He turned on it with power. Just not enough power. Aaron Brill makes his way to the hitting area. His first at-bat of the night in the 9-hole. Brill batting .229 with 3 driven in. Don Andre Clark is on deck. The big lefty, Conroy, pours a late breaking ball in there, but just fell across the hitting area. Strike 1 against Aaron Brill, the second baseman for San Rafael. This is slash towards short. Romero has it on 2 hops. Long throw in time, 2 down.
Once again, I need Sydney, Dominic, Alina, Sophia, and Julia.
Well, the Pacifics have made it all the way through the order, and now we're back to Don Andre Clark. In the bottom of the first inning, Clark roped one over to third to Cam Stewart, who was thrown out on a very close play.
Now batting for your Pacifics, center fielder, Don Andre Clark.
But Clark didn't miss it by much. He's batting .361. He has 1 home run and 8 driven in on the season. Clark's second at-bat. We're in the bottom of the 3rd inning, and there's a breaking ball taken. 1-0. Rando Moreno is on deck. 2 down here in the bottom of the 3rd. Indoors, and now it's 2-0. Man, it's a great night at the ballpark. Conroy, outside Black. That was a veteran pitch right on the outside corner. Taken for a strike, 2-1. Well, what a different night this is, Max, from 2 nights ago.
Yeah,
2-1. Slash first base side. Comstock's got it. He goes to the bag himself. You were saying, sir?
Oh, yeah, definitely. That last game, it's, through the 3rd inning, we were already probably an hour and a half in the game. This one's just flying by. Quick 1, 2, 3 innings on both sides. Yeah, definitely just a speedier game.
Yeah, this one's going fast, and it's so much warmer and nicer out here tonight.
Let's play that music.
So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to switch telecasters. We are going to the top of the 4th inning. And all right, we're going to go to the top of the 4th. We'll take a quick break on CMCM's coverage of the 2018 San Rafael Pacifics. Well, we've already made it to the top of the 4th inning. Still no score. Jake Moles is here. Jake, good job of the half innings. Those were really fun.
Thank you, Stu. I've got some good teachers. I'm excited to be back here at the booth with you for this another beautiful game at Albert Field for the Pacifics versus the Stompers.
Yeah, it's a good call. No score. Daniel Baptista, the big left-handed slugger, stands in. Now, interestingly enough, about Baptista, as Baez bounces one off a home plate for ball 1, he'll be followed by Kenny Meimersdorf and Miles Williams. Fouled third base line and out onto Anderson Drive. 1-1.
It's been a bit of a neck-and-neck game for these guys today.
Yeah,
so
it's
far.
really a pitcher's duel so far. And talk about a big difference in pitching style. Baptista stands in, takes up and in, 2-1. The fastball missed high. Baptista wears 44, which forever was Patrick Conroy's number. But when he left the Pacifics wearing 44, and I think he may have worn 44 his whole career. First base line, Jake has it on a single hop, takes it himself, and Baptista's gone 3 unassisted, 1 away. So when Conroy then left the Pacifics last year and went over to Sonoma, well, as it turns out, Daniel Baptista already had 44, and you know how numbers are to these guys. The number matters.
Never give it up.
That's
if
right.
If you don't have to.
So now Conroy, and I think it's the first time in his career, he wears number 38. And I think it's the first time he wears any number other than 44, as Meimersdorf takes a big bender away.
Yeah, everyone's got their own numbers. I had 10 only for all my sports.
Yeah, I always wore number 4.
Yeah.
But Zach Pace, the manager of the Stompers.
Former Pacific as well, as I understand, right?
Meimersdorf, long fly ball, deep left field, backing up is Randall at the wall. He reaches up, and that's a home run. No, he got it at the wall. Javion Randall at the wall, reached up and over and somehow hauled it in and absolutely robbed Meimersdorf of a home run. Boy, that would have been a goner, but instead just a dramatic out.
It's the kind of hustle that's going to get the Pacifics ahead in this game. Absolutely.
Great pitching backed up by some great defense, and that's what we've seen so far tonight. 2 down, Miles Williams stands in. Yeah, Zach Pace, who's the manager now of the Sonomas, played for the Pacifics for 5 full seasons. He won 3 championships and 2 center field Defensive Player of the Year awards along the way, and retired at absolutely the top of his game.
It's quite the stat sheet.
Baez comes up and in, and Williams buckles back and out of the way. He's ahead in the count 2-0.
That's 2 real close ones from Baez right there.
But the night back in 2012, that the first time the uniforms came in, I was sitting right here. This is fouled up and over our heads and out of play toward Kirby Cove. 2-1. And they opened the boxes, and Pace wanted number 24 in recognition of his favorite player, of course, Willie Mays, who also wore 24. And the look on Pace's face when he opened up the box and saw that his uniform was number 24, the number that he wanted. Man, it was a great moment in Pacific's history, and there was, at that time, there was no Pacific's history. I mean, just very little. They hadn't even played a game yet. It was a great night, though, to watch him open those boxes right here on the field, right in the dugout, 10 feet away from where we are right now. And I talked to Pace last week when we did the game against the Stompers, and I reminded him of that moment as this is fouled back to the screen, and he remembered that moment. And a great one it was. You know, there are certain moments that you remember. I'm sure as a player, certainly as a fan. And that was not my very first Pacifics memory, but one of the first. Here's the 2-2, and he got him swinging. And the game continues to move at lightning speed. 3 up and 3 down with an absolutely incredible grab out in left field by Javion Randall.
Let's join Sir Francis.
We're going to go to the bottom of the 4th inning, if you can imagine that. Already the bottom of the 4th, and we haven't even been in play for an hour yet.
This is a breakneck game compared to last Tuesday when we were together still.
4 hours and 2 minutes. Yeah, that was something. It'll be Rando Moreno and Javion Randall. Brent Gillespie. The Pacifics are coming up. Bottom 4, no score. Down to the field. Here's Ethan.
Well, that was another quick inning for Fernando Baez, but of course it did not come without some more spectacular defense. The double play to get out of the last inning, and now Randall going all the way back to the wall to rob a home run to keep this a scoreless tie. So now it's up to the Pacific's offense to try to scratch something across the board and try to claim sole possession of first place, because that is something that is very good thing to have. And especially in the game where 2 teams are tied, this has been a neck-and-neck ball game. Well, that will do it for the top half of the 4th inning. You're watching CMCM's TV's live coverage of the 2018 San Rafael Pacifics.
No score, bottom 4. Patrick Conroy is still on the hill, and here's Rando Moreno. Moreno swings at the first pitch. A changeup from the big lefty. It'll be Moreno, followed by Javion Randall and Brent Gillespie here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Who will blink first? Slash third base line, backhanded by Stewart. It gets under the glove. That's going to get down for extras all the way into left field. Meimersdorf comes up with it, but not before Moreno has a stand-up double. Moreno hits the second pitch right down the chalk line, Jake, and it got right under the glove of Stewart. Now, you can't blame that on the sunlight because there is no sunlight in the third baseman's eyes at this point in the game. Up until this moment, there was a lot of sunlight.
Completely shaded now, though. No reason to blame it on the weather here today.
Nope, he tried to backhand it. It was right on the chalk line. Here's Javion Randall. Randall takes on the outside black for a strike. That's the 8th double for Rando Moreno on the season. Leads the team.
Hoping to get a hit as good as that last catch.
Yeah, wasn't that something? Very high off speed. Conroy with a 10.99 ERA. Well, he certainly pitched better than that in the first 3 innings. Here we are in the 4th. And with no one out, he's got a man at second base. Even in the count 1-1 against the 4.48 hitting Javion Randall. Popped him up. Shallow center. Coming in as Bradley. 1 away. Brent Gillespie, the cleanup batter, makes his way to the hitting area. Oh, Randall just barely missed it.
Designated hitter, Brent Gillespie.
And Javion's been seeing the ball very well. I'm surprised he just barely missed it and popped it to center.
He had that nice bomb on Tuesday.
That's right.
That was beautiful.
Yeah. You know who else had a bomb on Tuesday was this guy, Brent Gillespie. Started that 10-hitter 7th inning where the Pacifics went ahead and stayed ahead. Gillespie takes away 1-0. Jake Taylor is on deck. There's one down, and Rando Moreno, the runner over at second base. Gillespie, the DH in the 4-hole, is batting .308 with 4 bombs, 17 driven in. This pops off the chest protector of Mitchell Ho, the catcher, back out into the area of play. And Moreno cannot advance. 2-0 to the DH, Brent Gillespie. With 17 RBIs on the season, Gillespie is 4th in the Pacific Association, but 1st for the San Rafaels. There's a fastball swung on and missed.
Your attention, please. I need Adam and Jason
2-1 now to the big slugger Gillespie. Yeah, Gillespie in the 7th inning back on Tuesday night against the Pittsburgh Diamonds. The Pacifics were behind 3-1 at that time, and he batted twice, and he started the big rally that put the Pacifics up. Big curveball is left upstairs. 3-1.
Knock on wood, but I'm hoping RBI number 18 is in Gillespie's future somewhere close tonight.
Well, it's absolutely it's not out of the question, and it could happen right here. A 3-1 count, as a hitter's count. Here it is. Oh, change up, and he walked him just a little bit outside. So Gillespie at first, Moreno at second, 1 down, and here's big Jake Taylor. Taylor's one of those guys, as you know, Jake. Jake to my right, and Jake out hitting right now.
Jake's put in work.
There's a lot of Jakes in the house right now.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, I like it. Taylor stands in.
Wide stance.
Yeah, a very wide stance. He's like one of those guys that whenever Taylor comes to the plate, everybody in the stadium stops and watches. 319 batter. Conroy, curveball, is swung on and hit over to third. Scooped up by Stewart on the back end of the double play. Is in time, and Jake Taylor on the first pitch hits into a 5-4-3 inning-ending, momentum-killing double play. Ouch. Well, the Pacifics had a little something going on there, Jake. They just couldn't sustain it.
Conroy got out of a really tough jam right there. Almost got a couple runs in, but Pacifics are whittling away at the Stompers' defense.
Conroy's tough. There's no question. It'll be Cam Stewart followed by Mitchell Ho and Rayson Romero in the top of the 5th for Zach Pace's Sonoma Stompers. The 7-8-9 batters coming up for the Stompers, and coming up for us on the field is Max. Take it away, Max.
Just that unfortunate double play to end the inning, but yeah, they definitely gained some momentum. Hopefully they can break it out in the next inning, you know? Yeah, looks like they had some magic going there.
Welcome back, everybody. Cam Stewart is going to lead off. Hey. All right. Some of the fans are here hanging out with us and giving us a hand. Cam Stewart, the sure-handed third baseman for the Sonoma Stompers. No score, top of the 5th inning, and the game is only 64 minutes old.
Did you just say top of the 5th inning?
I can't believe it.
Your attention,
It's hard to imagine.
Unbelievable.
The game is almost halfway over.
To the Pacific's dugout.
We're
Both
top
te-
5. Stewart in there ahead in the count, 2-0. Baez just seems to be throwing harder and harder as the game goes on. But more wildly here against Stu. 0 for 1, a strikeout back in the second. Baez working quickly, pours in a strike, a fastball, and now it's 3-1. Stu's taken all the way.
Both lineups hoping to get either pitcher to break first. Pacifics were close last inning.
Boy, they sure were. Baez has had some tough moments, but he's worked through them, much like Conroy. Big swing at a high fastball, and now the count is full. After Stewart was ahead in the count, 3-0.
Baez just sneaks up on you like that.
Mitchell Ho is on deck. What a beautiful night for baseball. Popped him up. First base side, and out of play back into Kirby Cove. The third baseman, Stu, from the right side, batting 197. Here's Baez. Payoff pitch, straight back to the screen. It's always fun to watch the fans back there dead behind the batters when a ball is fouled back to them. And you can't help but flinch, even though you know this screen
It's impossible.
it's got you covered. Here's the 3-2, and he walked him up and away.
I'm a flincher as a fan for sure.
Oh, yeah.
There could be a cement wall there, and I'd get nervous.
Sure. I don't think there's any way around it. When you see a ball coming at you 128 miles an hour, you can't help but kind of duck out of the way of it. Top of the 5th inning, everybody. Still no score. Baez against Conroy. It sounded good on paper, but it's better than it even sounded.
If you're a baseball fan, but also especially a pitching fan, this is definitely the game to be watching right now.
What a pitcher's duel. So far, just incredible. Mitchell Ho squares to bunt and takes upstairs. Snap throw down to first. Diving back in is Cam Stewart safely. Oh, that was a good throw by Lindsay. Just a little bit too high. Well, Jake Taylor really snapped the tag down on Cam Stewart. He's diving back in. And now it looks like Taylor and Stewart are having a word. Gary Reichelmeyer, the field umpire, had to come over and, Taylor's still talking to him. I don't know what he's saying, but Taylor's not smiling. Usually Taylor's a pretty affable guy.
You can't be tonight. This is for first place in the conference.
Got that right. Both teams 11-7. Ho stands in. Takes downstairs 2-0. Well, baseball is certainly a beautiful thing. It's Satchel Paige night.
It's one of the first baseball players I ever learned about in my younger years.
2-0 now to Ho, and he takes outside Black. 2-1. That mic is still on the one hanging on the fence over there.
Oh, yeah.
Turn it off.
Yeah.
Romero's on deck. Ho stands in, even in the count. 2-2. Baez with the 3.94 ERA comes home, up and away, and now it's full. Hey, Jake, remind him. No, remind Max. Ho batting 250. 4 home runs, 8 RBIs, and he gets him with a slider. Wait a minute. I guess he doesn't get him. He tipped it into the glove. Goodness gracious, I thought it was over. Ho looks down to Zach Pace in the third base coach's box. I'm not sure what the signal was that Pace just flashed in a sign. I think he said just hit the ball. Usually it's a whole series of machinations. Full count. Popped him up. I don't know if it hit the top of the stadium or not, but it's just a dramatic foul ball.
You looked a little nervous there.
Well, I'll tell you, over the years, a few times the ball has, we're in the perfect spot, right? It seems like inconceivable that a ball could get here. But it has hit that light standard right over my head and come straight down and come very close to us. A snap throw to first base. And Cam Stewart scurries back to the bag. Mitchell Ho, the catcher, went down looking back in the second to end things. And here's the 3-2. And he walked him. Fastball was upstairs. Consecutive walks. First time I either pitcher tonight. Both bullpens, as you may expect, very quiet. And now another mound visit
Hey kids, join us June
for the Pacifics as Nick DeBar trots out to have a quick word.
baseball camp.
I suspect a quick word with Fernando Baez. He may have
Players and coaches.
seen something in Baez's motion. So one thing about the pitching coach is you know, Jake, they know every little thing about your motion. And if something changes, the pitching coach is right on top of it.
Absolutely. I mean, that's their job, right? They're there to make sure that, players like Baez, players like Connor are there to do their jobs and pitch like the best of the best that they are. And, when you say tonight's a pitcher's duel, you really, really see it. Connor gets 2 consecutive walks for the first time tonight and probably first time in a while. And then next inning, you think that Baez is going to clean up, and then Pacific's going to head a little bit, 2 consecutive walks for Baez. So it's just absolutely neck and neck for these guys. Crazy to see.
Well, let's see here. Back in the fourth, I don't see where Conroy had.
Didn't he get 2 in a row? He got 1 at least. I know that.
He had 1.
He had crazy.
Yeah, he had a double in the to Moreno, and then a walk to Gillespie, and then the double play that ended things. So for the first time tonight, a pitcher walks consecutive batters, and now you've got Rayson Romero. And not that Romero's not a good hitter, but he is in the 9 hole, and generally speaking, a pitcher will. I think a pitcher feels more pressure in the heart of the order than he does the last batter in the order, although lots of managers put really good hitters in that 9 hole, as we discussed on Tuesday night. So just some soft toss going back and forth, and now Matt Cavanaugh is having a word with Sal Lopez, the home plate umpire, and I'm not sure what he was talking about, but Cavanaugh doesn't go out on the field
for any reason.
Yeah, unless he's got serious business to discuss. And now he takes a seat back next to Nick DeBar. Well, here's Rayson Romero. He's got Cam Stewart, the runner at second, Mitchell Ho, the runner at first, nobody out in the top of the 5th, and no score yet. Baez, a stingy 3.94 ERA, the big right-hander. Stares into Romero. Fastball is taken for a strike. Top of the order, and Eddie Mora-Loera is on deck. Pacifics got the ground ball and the double play to end things when they needed it most, with runners at the corners and 1 out in the 3rd. They could use a little magic right now. Runner goes, and it gets away from Lindsay. A fastball got away from Lindsay, and both runners advance. Well, they were going either way. It just so happens that the Stompers got a big break as Lindsay could not hold on to the ball. It was called a strike as it was.
Stompers knocking on Pacific's door right now looking for that first point.
Stompers have had a couple lucky breaks so far tonight, and there was another one.
Sure have.
I certainly could cite 2 others. There's a fastball swung on and missed with a Herculean hack by Rayson Romero. 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. Cam Stewart at 3rd, Mitchell Ho at second base. A base knock, drives in 2, and now a little action in the Pacific's bullpen. Romero in the 9 hole. The sure-handed shortstop popped him up. Right field, coming in is Staudinger. He's got it. No one can advance. It is simply not deep enough. A strong throw comes in and gets away from Lindsay. But heads up, Fernando Baez backs up Lindsay. It gets past Lindsay, but Baez is right there. Romero is out, one down, top of the order, Mora Loera.
I couldn't help but react on that one. That was that set my heart way up in my throat. that little toss there.
Yeah, you could just sense as that ball was coming in, it wasn't going to get there, and it wasn't going to be short enough. And it short hopped Lindsay, and luckily Baez, who's been taught to back up the catcher his whole career, was in perfect position. Here's the top of the order. Loera struck out twice so far tonight. Fly ball into center. Don Andre Clark is there. He's got it, and here comes Cam Stewart. The throw comes in. Now they've got the pickle off at second base, and they pick off Mitchell Ho! The run scores.
For Sonoma,
Stewart came in.
1 run.
Mitchell Ho came off of second on the throw in. It was cut off by Baez, who threw it back to the covering Moreno to pick Mitchell Ho for the third out. Mora Loera goes down on a fly ball to 8, and after all of that, Jake, the Sonomas strike first. It's a 1-0 ball game as we go bottom 5.
Already.
Zach Files will lead off, followed by Mark Lindsay and Michael Stoudinger. 1-0 Sonoma. Down to the field. We'll take it to Ethan right here on CMCM.
Well, we are halfway home, and the Stompers have just scored a run. But nonetheless, the defense prevents the runner from scoring position to make the inning carry on. Fantastic defense has been the story of the game on both sides, as both sides have been fantastic with the glove in this one. Now it's time for the Pacifics to try to scratch some across here against Patrick Conroy, who has been lights out this far. You are watching live coverage of the 2018 San Rafael Pacifics here on CMCM TV.
For San Rafael. The Pacifics blinked in the top of the 5th, but they only blinked once, and it could have been a lot worse. But some heads-up defense, and the second pitch for Files is drilled deep right field, backing up as Williams. He's there. One away. Oh, Files. Files hit it into center field his last time up, and on a rope, and this time he just almost got it out of here. I don't know how much harder you can hit it and not have it leave the yard. One away. Files has hit the ball very hard twice tonight. One away, Mark Lindsay, the batter. A ground ball over to Romero at short, back in the second, his second at-bat tonight. A little off-speed, taken across the knees, strike 1.
It's up to the bottom of this lineup just to keep this momentum going. You know, even if they are pop-outs, just keep the momentum going, keep the defense on their toes, get some hits, get some runners going.
Conroy throwing
Once again,
beautifully so far.
Sienna, Emma, Brooks, Ethan,
in the dirt,
and
1-1.
Koenig to the Pacific's first base dugout.
Toss that in there to see if old Lindsay would go after something out of the strike zone. You talk about a crafty lefty. That's what you get in Conroy every outing. Big curveball. Oh! 1 and 2, the big bender. Man, that was funky. That's Conroy for you, though. Oh, that was some good stuff.
I think you guys could tell Stu liked that pitch.
No, I just like Conroy. I always have. Been a huge fan of his.
I
day I met him.
I've been meaning to tell you, and I'm not pulling your leg. Conroy and I are family. Did you know that?
No, you guys are related?
Not blood, but so my uncle's wife, her cousin, is his better half. It's a long chain, but
well,
we've met a few times.
Let me ask you
know.
this: would he recognize you if he looked up here?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. Here's the 1-2, and it's stroked into center field, and that gets down for a base hit. Lindsay reaches for it, and now he's aboard. Stoudinger hit it hard into right field his last at-bat. He just turned on it. But if you hit anything near Miles Williams in right field, you can kind of forget about it, and that's what Stoudinger did.
It's good to see that run from the Stompers hasn't taken any of the wind out of the Pacifics here. They're still hammering away.
Yeah, they are. They're hitting it very hard. Stadinger against Conroy takes low. 1-0 with Aaron Brill on deck. Batting in the 8-hole. Stadinger, a .310 batter. Conroy takes a long look over to first base. Chop towards second. This could be two. Underhanded from Eddie Mora-Loera on the back end. Got him! Another double play turned by the Sonomas. That was 4-6-3. And the Pacifics cannot catch a break. Sonoma's defense just a little too tough. Conroy is really bringing it. Well, we'll go top 6 if you can imagine how quickly this game is bouncing along. A 1-0 advantage for the Sonomas. It'll be Marcus Bradley followed by Daniel Comstock and Daniel Baptista. 2, 3, 4 batters coming up. And for us, out on the field, here's Max.
Yeah, that's another double play to end the inning. Just, putting a stop to any type of rally the Pacifics are trying to put up. They're trying to, just keep trying to create hits, do whatever they can to try to get back in this game. Still only down by 1 run. Baez has been pitching great, and that's going to be it here. So.
Here we go. Leading off for the Stompers.
Well, the Stompers
Number 4,
are back
Marcus
up.
Bradley.
And here's Marcus Bradley in a 1-0 ball game. Goodness gracious. We're already in the 6th inning. Marcus Bradley, a .267 hitter, is 1 for 2 on the night. A single his last at bat. And he takes upstairs 1-0.
My head's spinning. This game's moving so fast, but I'm here for every inning, and I'm excited. We got a good ball game on our hands
This
here.
is a good game. Bradley, Comstock, Baptista, the 3 hitters for Zach Pace. Curveball is stroked toward Big Jake Taylor, who takes it to the bag himself, 1 away. Well, Bradley, the only thing about that hit that's tough for a defensive player, and Big Jake, you could see it. Do you rush in on it? Do you back up on it? Well,
Now batting for
You could
Sonoma,
see, if you were watching Taylor, you could see the moment where he made that decision to decide to run on it.
is, and they, the axiom is, don't let the ball play you. You got to play the ball, which means you got to rush in on it. But in that case, he saw how high the bounce was, and he actually backed up a step, which was the right move. He had plenty of time, and the ball was struck sharply enough. Comstock takes a fastball high, 1-0. He struck out looking to end things in the first and then hit into an inning-ending double play in the third. Comstock takes across the knees, and it's 1-1. Baptista's on deck, and Comstock wants to get off the schneid. Big curveball is taken low. 2-1. Comstock batting .324 takes upstairs and buckles back 3-1. 1 away here in the top of the 6th inning, a 1-0 ball game. If you love great pitching, what a night to be at the ballpark. Swung at a fastball. Right over the top of it, counts full. There's a lot of people here a Thursday night. Swings and another fastball back to the screen.
It's the weekend, baby.
Yeah, just about. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up. Well, I remember before the field opened in 2012 when they brought in this huge nylon screen. It used to be chicken wire. Yeah. Popped him up. Third base side. Files is on the move. He's there. He's got it. 2 down.
Files wasting no time in getting this inning on the move.
For the Stompers, 44.
It was a good work by the third baseman. There's Files, number 10. Talking to Zach Pace. Pace has played here. Well, he played here for 5 years. He knows how hard it is to play at Albert Park, although Pace roamed around in center field, never in the infield. And Files had to get under it. Here's the big slugger, Daniel Baptista. Breaking ball is taking a late call for a strike. Baptista 0 for 2 on the night with a strikeout. And a ground ball over to Big Jake Taylor at first. Woo! Nasty curveball. And Baez is really working at 0-2. Well, the Pacifics did blink. They just blinked a little bit back in the 5th. And now Baez ahead in the count. 0-2. Baptista swings at a fastball. Got him on 3 strikes. Well, Baez gets him 1, 2, 3. And we'll go to the bottom of the 6th inning in this scorching affair at Albert Field.
All right, fans, it's trivia time.
For the Pacifics, it'll be the 9-1-2 batters in Aaron Brill, Don Andre Clark, and Rando Moreno. The score remains 1-0 in favor of Sonoma, and we'll send it back down to the field to our colleague Ethan. Take it away.
Well, this game is moving at lightning speed, but the Sonoma Stompers have a 1-0 lead. Patrick Conroy for the Sonoma Stompers has pitched fantastic, and same thing with Fernando Baez, just 1 run across. That's what they say, walks will kill you, and usually it's because they score. And they gave up 2 walks in the inning that they scored their run, and so far that's been the difference in this ball game. Now it's up for the Pacifics to try to scratch some across. I feel repetitive because it's been like that almost every single inning I've been out here, but I feel like this could be the inning that it could get done. You are watching the San Rafael Pacific's live coverage here on CMCM TV.
Well, we're in the bottom of the 6th, everybody. A 1-0 ball game. This pitcher's duel continues. The fans are loving it. Brill stands in ahead in the count 1-0. Conroy just seems to be mixing it up better and better as the game progresses. And Brill ahead in the count 2-0 now with Don Andre Clark on deck. The San Rafael hero, the big lefty, Patrick Conroy on the hill. Oh, inside corner with a little slider, 2-1.
Congratulations to
Conroy
Jason.
seems to
He
be
won our
working
trivia contest. He
at a
knew that
quicker
Satchel
pace
Paige
maybe
was
than I've
42
ever
years
seen him.
old
And
when he broke into the
I've called a
majors.
lot of Conroy games over the years on radio and TV. And this is chopped toward short. On the short hop, Romero. And he can't get it out of the glove. Romero got in front of it, but it wasn't hit hard enough that he was going to have a play, and Brill is aboard with a single.
One of those lucky breaks that the Stompers have been getting all night. Finally goes the Pacific's way. Brill gets on base, gets something started again for the Pacifics. Another hit on the board.
Here's the instant replay of the strikeout of the end of last inning when Baptista went down. Not our instant replay, although it says instant replay.
Recent replay.
But Jake named it the recent replay. That's right. As long as it's within 5 minutes, it constitutes it
to get on our screen here.
a recent replay. So here's Don Andre Clark now. No! Just an unhittable curveball.
Thought about it too hard.
It had everybody locked up. I'm surprised the umpire was even able to say anything. A breaking ball that's that severe and that perfectly thrown has a way of mesmerizing everybody. Certainly not just the batter. And he follows it up with a slider low, 1-1. That curveball was such classic Conroy. And I will say, Conroy is throwing much better than his last start here at Albert Park, which was about 10 or 12 days ago. Rando Moreno's on deck. Conroy got rocked last time. But boy, oh boy, is he bringing it tonight. Just mixing up pitches so beautifully. Popped him up. Shallow left field, backing up Romero. He's got it. 1 away. Brill cannot advance on the shallow pop-up. So Rando Moreno will be left to get things done. And I really can't think of anyone more qualified than Moreno, who had a stand-up double his last at-bat. Moreno has 11 driven in. He's got Brill over at first with one down, and he takes high 1-0. Javion Randall is on deck.
He's got quite the batting average, that Javion Randall.
Yes, he does.
4.48.
Fouled back to the screen. Moreno in a chess match with Patrick Conroy. But Conroy has had nothing but winning moves so far tonight. There's a curveball on a rope to left. Oh, and that gets down for a base hit. Short hopping it is Meimersdorf. And Meimersdorf dove for it, Jake, as you saw, and it was an all-or-nothing play. If that gets past him, I think Brill scores. Meimersdorf is running in on it and dove straight toward the plate and managed to get it on the shortest of hops. But now the Pacifics have a runner in scoring position with Brill at second, Moreno over at first base, and here's Javion Randall. And now a mound visit from Zach Pace. Yep, here he comes. Good old number 24 is out of the dugout, slowly making his way toward the pitcher's mound to talk to Conroy. There's no action in the Sonoma bullpen, and just as I say that, one or two guys stand up and yeah, they pull off the hoodies. But it's interesting. Conroy steps off the back of the mound as Zach Pace. You're looking at Conroy at about 6'3" and Pace at about 5'7". Conroy's all the way up top. Pace is up top. Conroy's off the back, and their eyes are about the same level. And as you may suspect, Pace is going to leave Conroy. I mean, it'd be insane to pull Conroy. I'm sure there was nothing in the discussion about whether or not Conroy had enough. Conroy's just getting lubed up.
Absolutely. I mean, how can, a few bad pitches here and there, maybe a misstep, but how can you not keep your trust in a pitcher like Conroy to go through another couple innings?
In a 1-0 ball game with two runners on and just one down, the Pacifics are poised with Javion Randall, and he probably said, don't forget, this guy's hitting 450. Randall takes a curveball high. It was a breaking ball of some sort. It didn't break much.
He has one of the best averages in the conference, does he not?
I think it leads the Pacific Association.
There it is.
Gillespie is on deck. And now a fastball is poured in and taken low. 2-0 to Javion Randall, who does have some pop. He's 0 for 2 tonight. But he has hit a couple of bombs and 16 driven in. Conroy looks the runner back to second. Nothing doing. Low, 3-0. And this 3-0 count, Jake, could very well be as a result of that mound visit. I think Zach Pace, I'm not sure what he said, obviously, but I wouldn't be surprised if he said, don't let this guy beat us. Don't give him anything down the middle. And this is fouled back. A little breaking ball with some late movement from Conroy, which he's had working all night. He throws it in there, and just when it looks really good, it breaks out of the hitting area. And these guys have absolutely no chance. With the exception, of course, of Rando Moreno and Aaron Brill. Two of the last three batters, both with singles.
Both itching to get to home plate.
1-0. Conroy, a double look back now. Here's the 2-1. Check it, 3-1, and he walked him. And now they're loaded. And now here comes the DH in the 4-hole, Brent Gillespie.
If you're Brent Gillespie, you're probably thinking there is no better looking setup for you right now. Being a designated hitter, you got a little bit of cushion with only one out. You got 3 runners on base. You're going to do your job. You're going to literally step up to the plate and make something happen here.
Literally.
Literally. As I was saying it, I realized that I was a little on the nose there, but.
Yeah, no, that was good.
Point being, if I was Gillespie, my mouth would be watering for this hit right here.
That's right. In a game of cliches, it's nice to hear something literal. Brill at third, Moreno at second, Randall at first, Conroy on the hill, and here's Brent Gillespie, who had a bomb last Tuesday night. Curveball is taken. Ball one. A little low in the zone with Big Jake on deck. Gillespie in the 4-hole. Conroy's taking on the toughest part of the lineup now for the first time tonight with the bases loaded. The big lefty, no look back. Fly ball, third base line, and out on the Anderson drive. Out of play, 1-1. You're watching Marin TV, everybody, on Channel 30 in Marin. Uverse AT&T, Channel 99. And everywhere in the world on CMCM.tv. High curveball is swung on and missed. Gillespie wanted it a little too much. 2-1. The first pitch that, certainly the first pitch Gillespie swung at that was way out of the zone. It really gave Conroy a break.
He's hungry.
2-1. Oh, he wants it. Here it is. Low and away. Check it. I had the count wrong. Now it's 2-2. Just one down. Gillespie batting .308. 4 bombs, 17 driven in. Leads the Pacifics in RBIs. And the table's set for a couple more. 1-0 ball game. Here's the 2-2. Outside is full. Conroy staying away from the power slugger Gillespie. No one on the team with more bombs than Brent. Picked up his 4th 48 hours ago. There's a good look at our new scoreboard. 1 down. Here's the payoff pitch. Big curveball, he walked him, it's tied. Conroy left it up top. The curveball that's been working so well tonight.
Now, Stu, if there's any one hitter who I think wants a hit as bad, if not even more so than Gillespie, I think it's Big Jake Taylor, who's going to be coming up.
I would agree with that statement, and here is Zach Pace for his second mound visit, and that means that's the end of Conroy. You only get 2 from the manager, and Patrick Conroy, a San Rafael favorite. The hometown hero goes.
Conroy John at the ump a little bit.
He goes 5 1/3, gives up 4 hits, 1 run. He had 2 walks, and he struck out 1. No, he had 3 walks and struck out 1. Well, there's a new pitcher coming on for Sonoma, and we'll get the line on this new guy. We're going to take a very brief recess here on CMCM's coverage of the 2018 Pacifics. We'll be right back with the info on the new pitcher right here on Channel 30. Welcome back, everybody. Well, the new pitcher for the Sonoma Stompers is number 5, the right-hander, Robert Maislin. The line on Maislin, he's 1-1 in 11 innings pitched, 13 strikeouts against 8 walks, a 2.45 ERA in relief of the big lefty, Patrick Conroy. So they bring in the right-hander to face Jake Taylor with the Bags Jam a tie game. First pitch is a slider away.
The season, the run scored by Aaron Brill was his 4th. The RBI by Brent Gillespie, his 18th.
Gillespie, 4th in the Pacific Association and 1st for the Pacifics, gets another RBI with that walk. Taylor had in the count 1-0. Maislin delivers a fastball, swung on, and back to the screen. Big Jake was right on it, 1-1. Zach Files is on deck. The Pacifics have 3 on, 1 in, 1 down.
Big opportunity to go up in this conference deciding game right here. Position deciding game, I should
That's
say.
right. Both teams tied for first. Maislin, bent at the waist, comes home. Curve ball, long fly ball. This will get something done. Into center field, Marcus Bradley. He's got it. No, shallow center. Breaking in from third is Moreno. The throw is there. Moreno is safe.
And just like that, Stu, Pacifics are up 2-1 at Albert Field in a prime position to win first place.
Moreno scores and makes it 2-0 after the RBI sacrifice fly by Jake. That's Taylor's 7th. And with 2 down, here's Zach Files. On the play, Randall moves over to third base. Brent Gillespie to second. Files 0 for 2 on the night, but he's hit the ball very hard, both ABs. Once to center, once to right. Maislin comes home with something off speed, taken for a ball. Mark Lindsay's on deck. That is a waxing gibbous, by the way. They're back to the moon.
Now that one is for
certainly
sure.
Waxing.
Tuesday we had some debate, but I won't argue with that on that one.
Now you can see it. 2 runners in scoring position. A fastball taken low. 2-0. Files batting .269. 3 bombs, 8 driven in. All of these runs go to Patrick Conroy, as Maislin inherited a 1-out, bases loaded situation. So that RBI by Jake Taylor doesn't go against Maislin. It goes against good old Patrick Conroy. Curve ball is in the dirt, blocked by Mitchell Ho beautifully. And that could have been real trouble, but Ho was able to smother it and keep it in play.
Some superb defense right there. It was that or just get another rundown, and obviously you don't want that. Not looking to go down any more than they already have in this inning.
Maislin is behind in the count 3-0. Files, will he put the bat on the shoulder? He's hit the ball very hard twice tonight, 2 down. Fastball is poured in and taken for a strike, and I think Files is taking all the way. Files, the third baseman for the San Rafaels. From a closed-off stance, left-handed batter. You can see that leading right foot is closer to the line than his left foot. A closed stance, and it's in the dirt, and Maislin walks him, and they're loaded again. Yep. Just like that. Well, the Pacifics lead by a score of 2-1 here, as a mound visit from Ho to Maislin with that 2.45 ERA, although he's still working on batters that belong to Patrick Conroy. Little icing. So here's Mark Lindsay with the bags jammed.
We're pretty close to working our way through this whole lineup in this one inning, Stu.
Pacifics are tough in the 6th and 7th innings. They've always been. If you look historically, I bet the Pacifics have scored 65% of their runs in the last 7 seasons in the 6th inning. I don't know what it is. It might be that it's the 3rd time through the lineup. I don't know what it is, but it just seems to always be that way. Here's Lindsay, a .314 hitter. Fastball is taken low. 1-0. Stompers led until the 6th inning. And the Pacifics picked up 1 on the walk by Aaron Brill, who scored the run, and a fastball is taken across the belt for a strike, 1-0. And then the RBI by Jake Taylor that scored Rando Moreno. And it's 2-1. Lindsay takes across the belt, indoors, 21. I don't know. It's 2-1.
Probably in there somewhere. You know?
Maislin comes home and throws it about 52 feet and bounced it way in front of the plate. Now, I have seen some fastballs in the dirt here at Albert Park in the last 7 years.
But, man.
But that was just in front of the mound. We saw the play on Tuesday night where Yuki Yasuda held onto the ball too long out at second base. But that was in a double play exchange. Never from a pitcher with a fastball. Seen a lot of curveballs in the dirt. Not too many fastballs. And then Maislin.
The other end of the spectrum.
Then Maislin backs it up with a perfecto. High 80s, and now it's 3-2. Stottinger is on deck.
You know, Maislin really just wants this to be the last pitch. It's got to be.
2 down. Bases loaded. Full count. 2-1 ball game. Breaking ball in the dirt, and he walked in another one. Javion Randall will trot in, and the Pacifics lead 3-1. Well, Maislin comes in and gives up a sacrifice RBI to Taylor, then walks Files, then walks Lindsay. And all 3 of those go to good old Patrick Conroy. Now Gillespie at third, Files at second, Lindsay at first, and the first pitch to Stottinger, the 9th batter here in the 6th, is low and in. 1-0. Aaron Brill, who started this whole thing, is on deck. Stottinger batting .310 in the 8-hole, has 16 driven in. Tied for second on the Pacific's team. Fastball is lifted into center field. To his right, backing up is Bradley. He's got it. And Stottinger goes down, a powerful fly ball to center.
What a rally from the Pacifics this inning.
You're absolutely right. 3 runs, 1 hit, 4 walks, 1 error. And the Pacifics go up by a score of 3-1. Coming up in the top of the 7th inning, it'll be Meimersdorf, Williams, and Stewart for Sonoma. Now we'll send it down to the field. And here's Max.
The big payoff inning. 3 huge runs, and now they're only 9 outs away from securing this victory, putting them as the leaders in the conference in wins, giving them the best record. All they have to do is play some quality defensive baseball for the rest of the game, and they have this one in the bag.
Well, the Pacifics hit them hard in the bottom of the 6th. So we go top 7, Meimersdorf, Stewart. Meimersdorf, Williams, Stewart. And there's just a big, nasty curveball out of Fernando Baez to open things up, a called strike to Meimersdorf, who is 0 for 2 on the night. Struck out back in the 2nd, but then stole first on the pass ball. The pass ball swinging strike 3. They got away from Lindsay, and Meimersdorf heads up, ran down to first. Stranded at second base, though, back in that 2nd inning, and now it's 1-1. Big curveball is swung on and fouled off of Meimersdorf's left foot.
Those do not tickle.
No, and luckily for him, it's warm out here tonight, unlike 2 nights ago when it was about this point, it was in the 50s.
I mean, every ball player wants to play baseball in October, but those foul balls off the top of your shoes, ooh, they hurt so much worse.
I think October baseball, you have more adrenaline. If you make it that far, you know, you're not complaining. And furthermore, you've already, for 6 months, you've been fouling them off your lead foot. These guys are just getting started. We're only 19 games in. This is stroked into the gap in right center and gets down for a base hit. Stottinger scoots over to his right, hauls it in on a hop. Meimersdorf is aboard with his first hit of the night.
Now batting for the Stompers,
And here's Miles Williams.
Miles Williams.
Pacifics can't get comfortable. It's a 3-1 ball game. What a pitcher's duel those first 6 innings were.
Yeah, it was something to watch. I love watching pitchers work, and this was no exception. Baez and Conroy were fantastic.
Yeah, they really were. It was just great. I like games with great pitching. Oftentimes a pitcher's duel is just as exciting as a high-scoring game. I like games where there's a lot of clean hitting. As long as there are very few errors, I don't mind a high-scoring game at all. Williams stands in. And that's snapped the fastball, but taken away. And now it's 2-0. You were saying, sir?
And for me, the pitcher's duel, they're more intense than the high-scoring games because it's like one mistake and boop, game's out of your reach.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Baez is still throwing really hard. And speaking of which, he pours in a fastball, and now it's 2-1.
Little surprised Baez is still out there. He's pitched a lot today. He has thrown a lot of pitches today and worked out a lot of jams.
Well, that's true. He's only gone full, though, 3 times tonight. Long fly ball right field. This could tie the game. This is way out there in the gap. At the wall is Stottinger, and he's got it.
No, he overran him. Oh, wow.
And on the play, Stottinger turned first.
And
now, wait a minute.
Go
ahead. What happened?
When he hit the ball, he overran him. That's one of those
weird
rules
overran the base
baseball,
runner.
that when he overruns the base runner is out. Yes, he passed the base runner. We got it. Yep.
So, now it's hard from my vantage point in right field. I was certain that Stottinger caught the ball in right field. But the rule is, and now
here we go.
Jake Taylor is getting into it with Miles Williams at first base. No, Williams just went out with everybody's clearing the field. And here come the Pacifics, and both teams are out at first base as Williams reached up and tapped Big Jake, which is an insane thing to do, as Matt Cavanaugh's right in the middle of the whole mess, as you would expect. But Williams reached up and tapped Jake. I don't know if he caught him in the chin or batted his hat off. Miles Williams and Jake Taylor got into it over at first base. But the rule is, as one hitter runs, if he passes another teammate on the base paths, the trail runner is out. You can't pass a base runner at any time. Now, had the ball been caught cleanly, then it wouldn't have mattered, because as soon as the ball is caught, the trail runner is no longer live, as it's taken a little while, as you can see on your screen, for both squads to get back to the dugouts. Well, that's the first bench-clearing moment we've had this season, and that was pretty exciting because Miles Williams took a real chance. You reach up and tap the hat off a Big Jake Taylor at first base, you are asking for trouble. And Taylor kept his cool, although that could have turned into a nuclear bomb really fast. That was about to explode into something bad. As Matt Cavanaugh is still out on the field, and he wants to talk to Gary Reichelmeyer and get clarification on what just happened. From my vantage point, Ethan, I thought that Miles Williams' ball to right field at the base of the wall was caught by Stottinger, but apparently it was on a hop.
It went right through his glove. We just saw it right here on instant replay. He had it in his glove, but he palmed it, and it rolled and hit the wall.
All right. So to the director of CMCM, if you can roll that replay again real quick, that's going to answer a lot.
Ooh.
Well, Williams is over in the Sonoma dugout, and he's really bringing it. Here's the replay, everybody, and you can see it gets right through the glove. And that I couldn't see from my vantage point. Boy, that is great camera work. Look at that. Perfect camera work from your CMCM camera guys. Who's on that third base camera, Ethan?
I don't know.
I don't know. That person needs a gold star for the night. It's Ben?
That's my son.
On the third base camera? What's his name? Fez? That's Fez on the third base camera. That was brilliant camera work. Kid has a future, Mom. Our cameraman's mother is right here in the CMCM broadcast booth. So that's what happened. Fez caught it on tape to clarify everything. So Williams, that's a running error, and that's a big one. And Williams has not happened. As it turns out, there's one out. Cam Stewart, the batter, 1-1. He walked last time and scored the only run for the Stompers tonight. And they're still yelling over in the Stompers dugout. And he fists one right side. On the move is Jake Taylor, and it goes out of play.
So far, that has been the strangest series of events that I have ever witnessed in my short broadcasting career.
Yeah, well, you usually don't see, there's not a lot of bench clearing moments here at Albert Park, but every once in a while, and Miles Williams and Big Jake were yelling at each other over at the first base bag, and Williams reached up and touched him, and I've got to assume that Williams was ejected. We'll find out when the teams come back out on the field, find out if Williams is out there in right field. And that would be a big loss for Sonoma, as Williams is one of the best defenders in the league. And he got him with a high cheese. Stewart's gone swinging, 2 down.
And it all started with a rule that you see very little of in baseball. No matter what level it is, it's a very, very hard rule. You had to dust off the rule book to find that one.
Yeah, you're right. You don't often see a runner go past another runner. And I'm not sure what Williams was thinking. I do know what Meimersdorf was thinking, and that was that Staudinger caught it, same as what I thought. And so he was retreating back to the first base bag. And Williams just ran right past him. Big curve ball to Mitchell Ho. He's taken ball 1. Rayson Romero is on deck. Whew. What a nutty top of the 7th. It's a 3-1 ball game. Big curveball just outside 2-0.
Well, that was fun.
As long as nobody got hurt, a very cool moment in the game, yeah. Fastball is poured in, taken. And now it's 3-0. Baez better dig deep. Baez hasn't walked anybody for an inning and a half. Here's the 3-0. Oh, a high strike called. 3-1.
Well, then again, I haven't seen that rule since yesterday, since coaching minor leaguers.
Is that right?
Little leaguers. I haven't seen that rule since coaching little leaguers a couple days ago.
You just don't see it often. It's a big mistake by Williams. Long fly ball. This has home run distance, but it's left field and out of play. Mitchell Ho hit that, and that would have gone out of any big league park anywhere. He just pulled it a little bit. The right-handed batter turned a little early.
And all that is a scary strike.
Very dramatic strike. 3-2 count. Ho, a 250 hitter. Has a man at second. Fouled back to the screen.
Looking to do it again there, but this time keep it fair. That was a heck of a rip.
7th pitch of the at-bat coming up for Baez, who's only gone full. This is just the 4th time tonight. Baez working very efficiently. Mitchell Ho, the catcher. 2 down. Popped him up. Third base side is going to be a very tough play. Files to his right. He's got it. And after all that, the Pacifics get out of it without too much trouble as Big Jake Taylor comes in right below us here. He's not 5 feet away from us right now in the CMCM broadcast booth, and all the kids are lined up. They want to get a look at Taylor, who's unhappy with things. Taylor going over to talk to the manager, Matt Cavanaugh, was right in the middle of things. What a crazy moment in the game. The score remains 3-1 as we go bottom 7 down to the field. Here's Jake.
What an intense inning. You know, there's not really a lot else for me to talk about other than the scuffle that happened over on first base. This crazy game is getting everybody. Both teams really want first place in the conference. Absolutely way bad. You know, the tension is getting them. Tensions are running high. It's going to be an intense next 3 innings, and you better stick around on CMCM TV to watch Santa Fe Pacifics live. Back to you, Stu.
live coverage of the 2018 San Rafael Pacifics. The Pacifics lead the Stompers 3-1 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The reason why I paused a little bit is because that top of the 7th was quite an inning, as Maslin's first pitch to Brill will miss inside for ball 1. Brill started that rally back in the 6th inning by hitting a ground ball to the shortstop Romero that he bobbled a little bit to get on first base. Brill takes ball 2 down in the dirt. It has been a weird ball game. Started off as a pitcher's duel, then the offense decided to show up, and then the rule book decided to show up as Brill hits a high fly ball, but that's all it is. Moving over is Mimersdorf, and he'll put it away for out number 1. So this has been, by far, the weirdest ball game I have ever been a part of.
Well, what are you talking about? It was really only just the one play. I mean, it's a great pitcher's duel until that moment.
Well, in terms of, first the pitchers decided to pitch really well. The offense decided to get base runners and knock them in, and then the rule book decided to show up and call a rule that probably hasn't been called in an independent league or Major League Baseball in probably like a year and a half. As the first pitch from Maslin to Clark misses upstairs for ball 1.
I wonder how rarely that rule appears, to tell you the truth.
As Clark pops one back and out of play behind the grandstands for strike 1.
I got to believe that under the circumstances, I mean, the part of the rule that Miles Williams broke by passing the leading base runner, well, that's very clear, and it seems like most players would know that. The part of that play, though, that was interesting was it seemed like Stoudinger had it. and I think Williams just didn't recognize that.
As Maslin's 1-1 misses inside, 2 balls and 1 strike.
I think he didn't recognize that Stoudinger had muffed it. Because I looked at it, and from my angle, I was certain that he caught it. So I was with Williams until he tapped Jake Taylor. That I wouldn't have done.
2-1 and a high chopper, and nice play on the one hop. Comstock took it himself for out number 2.
Man, that was down the first base line and right on the chalk the whole way. Comstock literally speared it on 1 or 2 hops. I think it was just 1 high hop. Comstock dead behind the first base bag. That couldn't have been fair by more than a couple of inches at the most.
So now here comes Rando Moreno, having a pretty good day with the bat and was a major part of that huge rally in the 6th inning as he swings and lines one foul. Whoa, look out. Olay.
Yeah, whoever's in the Pacific's first base. Nick DeBar, of course. No, that's not Nick DeBar. That's not Nick DeBar. It should be, but it's not. Oh, no, Nick DeBar's in the Pacific's bullpen. It got all the way down there.
Maslin's pitch is a line drive into center field. Bradley is there, and he'll put it away, and that'll end the inning. A quick 1-2-3 inning for the Sonoma Stompers. No runs, no hits, and nobody left on. It has been an intense ball game between 2 teams in fighting for first place position. And so far, it has lived up to the hype. 2 rivals battling for first. And for more information, we'll send it down to our sideline reporter.
Pacifics are getting it done. Only 6 outs away now from securing the victory as well as first place. And as long as their pitching stays solid and their But yeah, as long as their pitching stays solid and some more solid defense, this game is in the bag. You're watching the 2018 San Rafael Pacifics on Marin TV.
Quinn Pippin on the mound for San Rafael. 1 run, 2 hits, 10 strikeouts for Fernando Baez for his 7 complete innings of work. Top of the 8th. It's a 3-1 ball game. San Rafael. And the Stompers vying for first place. And it looks like Racing Romero is facing Pippin. And is 1-1. Pippin we'll have the line on Pippin in a minute. I can't tell what season that is.
The top.
Ah.
The top one.
Very high. Thank you. Pippin is 0-0 with an 11 ERA. Right on the button, 9 strikeouts, 4 walks, 9 innings pitched. Pitched in 3 games so far. Romero, the shortstop, against the big right-hander Pippin, and very high. And Romero's ahead in the count 3-1. It's a 3-1 ball game, San Rafael. 3 runs on 4 hits. And no errors. Very tidy work for Fernando Baez. And there's a little cutter on the outside black taken. And now it's full. Can I see that line again? Pippin comes home with a fastball, and Romero loops a line drive out onto Anderson Drive. And he smoked it down the third base line, but out of the stadium. So the 7th pitch of the at-bat is coming up for Rayson Romero. Pippin deals. Diving forward at third is Files. He's up with it. Long throw. Taylor can't hold on to it. Oh! Taylor seemed to bobble it. Uh-oh. Now let's see. So Taylor, I thought, bobbled it. Reichelmeyer called the runner out, and now home plate umpire Sal Lopez wants to have a word with Reichelmeyer, and he is safe. From our angle, it looked pretty clear that Big Jake bobbled it on the scoop from Files at third. But initially, Romero was called out. But, they're going to call it an error. And that's an error on Jake Taylor.
A little bit surprising because even if Taylor would have missed the scoop at first base, I thought Romero beat the throw flat out.
So Romero at first, and here's Eddie Mora Loera, who takes his strike from Quinn Pippin. Marcus Bradley's on deck. We are in the top of the 8th inning, everybody, in a 3-1 pitching spectacular as Mora Loera swings at a slider. 0-2.
Well, if you're a fan of baseball, this game has everything. Bench
I would,
clearing brawls.
Yeah, I would suspect that anybody watching by now in the 8th inning is a fan of baseball, or is a fan of pitching, or is a fan of the Pacifics, or in the foreground of Zach Pace, number 24. Chop toward third, Files on a hop. To second for one on the back end, a hard slide by Rayson Romero. Broke up the double play. So Mora Loera is aboard.
Now batting for the Stompers.
And that brings up Marcus Bradley.
Marcus Bradley.
So Mora Loera is at first base on a fielder's choice. Bradley is 1 for 3 on the night. A single back in the third inning, a snap throw over to first base.
After doing some of that production work, I have so much more respect for it.
Is that right?
It's
good.
difficult.
Well, you guys were doing a great job with the cameras. And this is fouled back to the screen as Bradley really rattled things
Well, I don't know about doing great. I completely missed an out.
Well, it happens. Your first night on the cameras. Luckily, you have a great teacher in Scott Calhoun and working with the rest of those guys. It's a pleasure to be here. If you like baseball, great that you're with us on Channel 30 here in Marin. Bradley stands in 0-1 count against the big right-hander, Quinn Pippin. Oh, there was a breaking ball that fell in at the back end, 0-2. Comstock is on deck. Files, Moreno, Brill, and Taylor, your infield from third to first. Lindsay behind the plate. Randall, Clark, Stottinger in the outfield. There's the Pacific's bullpen. The next pitch is fouled back to the screen. Fourth pitch of the at-bat to Marcus Bradley coming up, all of which have been strikes thrown. 267 batter, 5 RBIs. Both teams 11-7 in the Pacific Association standings. Both teams tied for first place. Not tied at first base, although there's been a lot of action at first base. And Eddie Mora-Loera stands at first with 1 down.
Well, a couple of Stompers were tied at first base.
That's right. Bradley's back in there. Pippin working very quickly, and there's that late breaking, off-speed breaking ball taken 2-2. Bradley batting .267 in the 2-hole. Has Eddie Mora-Loera over at first base. Loera with a gigantic secondary lead, and now it's full.
This has been a great at-bat here by Bradley, making Pippin work, especially for a new pitcher to come into the ballgame. You want someone to come in and make the pitcher work so the guys on deck can see what he has and probably tire him out.
Comstock on deck, payoff pitch. A sharp liner to second for 1 on the back end, a double play. So Marcus Bradley hits into a 4-6-3 inning ender to get Eddie Mora-Loera at second base. And on the back end of the play, Marcus Bradley is gunned down at first. Some great defense by San Rafael, leaving Daniel Comstock on deck. Yours truly, Stuart Horn, Ethan Estrada, my trusty sidekick to my right. We go bottom of the 8th inning, and we'll send it down to the field now for Jake Mols, everybody, for an inning recap on CMCM.
What an amazing double play to end that inning there. Just absolutely electric play from our shortstop, Aaron Brill, I believe. And the Pacifics just can't, not the Pacifics, the Stompers just can't seem to get their heads back in the game after not only that 6th inning, but that 7th inning scuffle over on first base. Things are going a little downhill for the Stompers. Hopefully they're hoping to pick it back up in the next inning and a half, but Pacifics are looking pretty good to secure that first place position in the conference. Keep watching to see the end on CMCM TV.
Javion Randall will lead things off for San Rafael here in the bottom of the 8th inning. A 4-4-8 hitter leading off. And the first pitch from Robert Maslin, he got the spikes caught up because that didn't even reach the dirt. That landed in the grass in front of the dirt, which is 7 feet in front of home plate. There's Javion. Randall with a big bomb a couple nights ago. It'll be Randall, followed by Gillespie and Jake Taylor. And we haven't seen Taylor bat since the scuffle. We'll see if Taylor is going to do something good as Randall buckles back. And he's quickly ahead in the count, 3-0.
You could feel the blood boiling between these two sides. Randall being the best hitter on the Pacifics right now with that 400 average, pitching a little bit too close for comfort.
Randall has 2 bombs and 16 driven in, and there's a strike poured in across the knees. Randall is 0 for tonight. He did walk back in the 6th inning, and a run scored as part of that Pacific's 3-run rally. It's a 3-1 ball game, bottom 8, and he swings at a fastball, and now it's full.
The velocity on that fastball from Maslin is more deceiving than you think, mostly because of his funky windup that he has.
Well, he keeps the ball hidden for a long time. You're absolutely right. Big high leg kick. And he walked him. Oh, and from our vantage point, that could have gone either way. But Javion was certain of it and threw the bat away. And Maslin has walked another.
And that's what kind of season Randall's having. Not only is he batting over 400, but he's taking a lot of walks, which is a good thing to see. Not only do you want to put the ball in play, you also want to get on base.
Now a mound visit from Zach Pace. And he's got Mitchell Ho on the way out there, too. So from that angle, you can see our third base camera. You can see Ho coming into your picture now to talk with Robert Maslin. The Sonomas have a lot of action going in their bullpen. It looks like a couple of right-handers are warming up. Pacific's bullpen is very quiet. And home plate umpire Sal Lopez is on his way out to the mound to break up the discussion. Zach Pace has spent a lot of time out on the mound. Patrick Conroy started things off and for 6 innings was absolutely unhittable. And Maslin's going to exit. So the Sonoma Stompers are going to have to bring in a new pitcher who's now coming in from the bullpen. Looks like a big, tall right-hander. Number 33 is Ryan Richardson. His second year with Sonoma. It's actually his third year with the Stompers. He went to play with the Alpine Cowboys in 2016. After he played for the Stompers that same year. So this is, in fact, his third year. It's just that he played for the Alpine Cowboys in between his time with the Stompers. And he's going to have a few tosses. And we are going to take a very brief break here on CMCM's coverage of the 2018 San Rafael Pacifics. We'll be right back. Ryan Richardson, the right-hander, is in relief of Robert Maslin. And you had some interesting stats on Richardson.
Well, mostly that he's only played in 1 game, pitched 1 inning, and has 2 strikeouts.
Well, I'd say that's pretty effective. No ERA yet. And the first pitch to Brent Gillespie is taken, ball 1. Jake Taylor's on deck. He's the guy I'm kind of interested in watching hit tonight. I mean, I'm always keen on watching Jake Taylor bat. But especially after the scuffle with Williams over at first. And by the way, Williams is out there in right field. So even though from our vantage point it looked like he touched Jake, he remained in the game. Gillespie takes for a strike. A little off speed. A nasty breaking ball. 1-1. Gillespie with a home run 2 days ago. And he chops one into the hole between first and second, and that gets into right field for a base knock. Javion Randall moves over to second base.
Now batting for your Pacifics.
Gillespie has his first hit of the night.
Big Jake Taylor.
And here's Jake Taylor. You know, it's funny. Taylor's been with the team, Ethan, 3 or 4 years now. And his first year, he reminded me so much of there was a guy who played for the Giants about 10 or 12 years ago, Bobby Estrella. Remember him?
No.
And he always he had his gigantic chest, his huge upper body, and he always wore the jersey open. And Taylor used to wear his wide open, like down 3 buttons or something. Bobby Estrella? Anyway, he always reminded me, Taylor's got the huge upper body. And it's like he's busting out of the jersey. A sacrifice RBI his last at bat, and he swings at something way outside. I think Taylor might be sort of anxious. A sacrifice RBI back in the 6th, a single in the 2nd where he was stranded at first base. I'm reluctant to talk about the 5-4-3 inning-ending double play and momentum killer back in the 4th, but even the greats like Taylor find themselves hitting into double plays now and then. Nobody out and 2 on. He slashes one third base side, and did he nail Kavanaugh?
Almost.
I don't know how. From here, it looked like Kavanaugh felt it, but maybe not. Maybe it just got past him. Kavanaugh, the manager in the third base coach's box, was almost had a free ride over to Marin General.
That'll get the adrenaline going.
Yeah. I think he would have been in 2 pieces, though. They would have needed 2 stretchers for him because Taylor turned on it and really hit it hard. I don't want to make light of it, but Kavanaugh, thankfully, Kavanaugh's okay. I'm happy to report, everybody. Okay. 2 on. Taylor stands in, and he gets him looking. Taylor knew it. 1 away. Just a perfect fastball right across the knees. And Taylor wasn't looking fastball. He was sitting breaking ball or something. Ryan Richardson, who's technically been with the Stompers on and off over the course of 3 seasons, but has only faced a very few batters so far here in 2018. Here's Zach Files. There's a big curveball. Just nasty.
And for a little bit of a larger sample size on Richardson, last year he was 2-1 with a 3.46 ERA, pitched in 17 games, 26 innings, 37 strikeouts, and get this, 7 walks.
A very efficient hitter. Or pitcher, I should say, against a very efficient hitter in Zach Files. 0-2. Files batting .269. Is 0 for tonight. He walked his last at-bat. Here we are in the bottom of the 8th. And he gets him with the high cheese. 2 down. Wow. Richardson comes in place of Maislin and strikes out 2 in a row. And 2 guys who are not easy to strike out in Taylor and Files. Here's Mark Lindsay. By the way, everybody, our next telecast will be a week from tonight here on Marin TV. 7:05 first pitch. Will be on the air at 7 p.m. sharp. 1 week from tonight, next Thursday. I can't wait.
I'm excited.
It's a great association between the Pacifics and Marin TV and Dominican University that gives budding broadcasters like Ethan an opportunity to try their hand at the craft of play-by-play, and guys like Max and Jake, who you see getting to try out their work on the sidelines in between innings. A great experience for these guys. Couldn't be happier to be here. My 7th year with the club. Love the Pacifics. It's such a huge part of my life the last 7, actually the last 8 years, because it took a year for him to get started. And I was with him through the community meetings and so forth. And Eugene Lopario and Mike Shapiro, Stephanie Plant. These are all really great people. And interestingly enough, this is a family business. You got Jane Shapiro runs Jane's First Base Cafe, and Mike's sons work for the club in various capacities. Harry works in the front office. So, of course, Mike spent a lot of time with Major League Baseball, the Nationals and the Giants. Nobody more qualified to run a ball club, and Mike Shapiro is the president and general manager of the club and has been since day one. And these guys work year-round. It's a 12-month-year operation. They just play for 3. 3-1 delivery now to Mark Lindsay. They got him to swing through a fastball, and now it's full, and Stottinger's on deck, and the Pacifics would like a little bit of insurance. A 3-1 ball game, and Richardson is really bringing it. Yeah, this Pacifics thing has been a great association with Dominican, too. Forrest Hunt over there, a Dominican student. He's the voice of the Pacifics on PacificBaseball.com. This is roped into right field, gets down in front of Miles Williams. Coming in to score on the play is Javion Randall. And the Pacifics get an insurance run, and they needed it. It's 4-1. To third goes Brent Gillespie. Lindsay with an RBI single. And that was important.
And with only 1 inning and 1 game under your belt, that'll balloon Richardson's ERA.
Yeah, that's a good point. Although, the run scored by Javion Randall was inherited and actually belongs to Maslin.
Oh.
So Richardson remains. Yeah, that's not his run. In fact, Gillespie also belongs to Richardson, and he's at third base now. So the only run that could matter is Lindsay over at first base. As far as Ryan Richardson and his 0.0 ERA, Stottinger stands in. 0 on the night. Couple fly balls, whacked his way into a 4-6-3 inning-ending double play back in the 5th.
Seen a lot of those today.
Yeah.
A lot of double plays.
Yeah, the Sonomas have turned 1, 2, a pair of them tonight. But that is a lot. Stottinger from the left side. And a fastball snaps in nicely. 1-1. Stottinger's batting .310, 16 RBIs, and a chance to pick up another one right here, as he's got Gillespie lying in wait at third base. Oh. As a ball comes out onto the field. Some sort of a practice ball. Rando Moreno is going to track it down. The 2-1 now to Stottinger. Moreno has picked the ball up. And this is a high fastball. And now it's 3-1. And Richardson is going to have to be careful. With 2 away, what he doesn't want to do is get him loaded. Captain Obvious, Stu. And across the belt, and it's taken all the way, and now it's full. A perfect pitch that, in hindsight, Stottinger, not Hindsight, I got twisted up with Stottinger, but he's got to be thinking, I should have swung at that ball. That was a perfect pitch. Here's the payoff pitch. Oh, and he swings at the high cheese, and Richardson gets him. Well, this is the last chance for the Sonoma Stompers, everybody. And it's the heart of their order in Comstock, Baptista, and Meimersdorf, the 3, 4, 5 batters, as we go to the top of the 9th inning. The score is 4-1 in favor of the home team, the San Rafael Pacifics. Top of the 9, and we'll find out who's coming in. Is this Casilla again? Well, we'll find out in just a minute. Now we'll send it down to Max on the field. Take it away.
Well, the Pacifics got a much-needed insurance run in that half inning, and now they're only 3 outs away from securing this victory, putting them in first place in the conference. And you are watching the 2018 San Rafael Pacifics live on CM TV.
Last chance for the Sonoma Stompers here in the top of the 9th inning. It's a 4-1 ball game, and the Pacific's closer, Jose Casilla, has come in. against Daniel Comstock, the 3-4-5 batters. Pacific's lead is 3. So, Ethan, as you know, it's not an official save. Opportunity, but Casilla has been pretty darn good so far. This is popped straight back into the parking lot, way over the stadium. 1-2 to Comstock, who is 0 for 3 tonight. The line on Casilla is a 4.69 ERA following no wins and a loss. 7 2/3 innings pitched, 15 strikeouts against 2 walks. He has given up 8 hits, and he gave up a pair of hits 48 hours ago in the Pacific's win over the Pittsburgh Diamonds. Takes a ball, 2-2. Daniel Baptista is on deck. Casilla slider outside, and it's full. You know, the life of a closer, Ethan, it's got to be a tough one. It's like a kicker. You know, you come in when the game's on the line, and you've got seemingly an easy job. But, you know, getting those last 3 outs is anything but. Here's the payoff pitch. Up and away, and he walked him. And Casilla's not going to make this easy. It never is.
And one thing about those clutch performers such as kickers and closers is once they start missing, like kickers start missing, closers start blowing saves, all of a sudden, for some reason, they miss 1, 2, 3 in a row, and their career's in the tubes.
Yeah, well, and they lose confidence. That's the issue, because it takes a ton of grit to be a closer. Here's Daniel Baptista. Baptista struck out twice tonight. He's 0 for 3, and he takes a strike. Just power on power. These two guys. Comstock, the runner at first, nobody out. Casilla deals high, and Baptista swings and helps him out a little, 0-2. You need a little help now and then. Saturday, the Pacifics are celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Beatles' White Album. They're going to have a Beatles band out here and tons of music and tons of great stuff. Meimersdorf is on deck. 0-2. Got him. 1 away. Baptista swings at an unhittable slider.
And that's exactly where Casilla had to go with it. Going against a power hitter like Baptista, you do not want to try to pitch that slider inside, because if you leave it in a dangerous spot, all of a sudden you are looking at a safe situation. So beautiful, beautiful backdoor slider to get him.
And a closer can't pitch his way into a save. He has to come in for it. Here's Meimersdorf. But that's an interesting point, because if he gives up a run, then it would be considered a legitimate save. But you can't give one up and then call it a save. They can get a win, though, but not a save. But you have to come from behind for that. Meimersdorf ahead in the count, 1-0. Comstock, the runner, over at first. Top of the 9th. Casilla, breaking ball, poured in for his strike, 1-1. And that was nasty. There's always a ton of movement on these good power pitchers, especially power closers. They can't just throw a straight fastball. It's always got to slide one way or the other, a little tiny bit. And it's just tough on hitters, even really good professional hitters, as Meimersdorf foul tips it into the glove of Lindsay. 1-2.
He was reaching way out for that slider. Beautiful placement by Casilla.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It was on the outside part of the plate and looked hittable. And then it just broke away from him and was simply unhittable. Here's the 1-2 with Williams on deck. See if Williams makes it over to first base to have another little love fest with Jake over at the first base bag. Casilla takes a little extra time and comes home. 1-2 delivery.
Ooh. Catcher's interference.
And he swung, and he whacked Lindsay on the foul ball on the follow-through. he caught Lindsey, and I wonder if we can get a CM replay on that. Because Lindsey is rattled. Lindsey is seeing stars back there.
Hit him
And
right in the back of the hand.
Here comes the team trainer, Jesse Mazza, to have a look at Lindsey's hand. Are we going to get a CM replay on that last pitch? Is that possible? Oh, okay. I just got word from our director that we don't have it. But it's easy enough to see. His left hand got whacked to the catcher, Mark Lindsey. And hopefully he's okay back there, because the Pacifics have 2 more outs, and they're big ones. We're in the heart of the order as Meimersdorf reaches on the catcher's interference. On the play, it sends Comstock over to second base, and we have an official timeout now. And I got to believe, as Matt Kavanaugh's out there with Jesse Mazza, they're looking at Mark Lindsey's left hand. He's putting on that red glove now. But that's his receiving hand.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine? You want to be a professional catcher, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to get whacked around quite a bit. And Lindsey, Tuesday night, he got smoked about 4 times. And now Casilla throws it. He's going to throw him a couple just to see if Lindsey can bear the pain. Because when Meimersdorf hit him with the bat, whether it broke any bones in there or not, it's still going to hurt like mad. And here comes Kavanaugh to ask him. Lindsey says, yeah, I'm okay. Well, these catchers are tough guys. They are tough guys. Lindsey is no exception. I've just seen him get hammered all over the place. They've only played 18 games. This is the 19th game on the schedule. With a game or two in exhibition before the season started. Of course, Lindsey and Gingras platoon back there, but Lindsey gets the majority of the reps. So Meimersdorf at first. Check swing to Miles Williams is foul. And nothing in 1. And the big question is, will Williams get down to first base to hang out with his new pal, Jake Taylor? Curveball is low and away. 1-1.
Now that'll be must-see TV.
Yeah. Last time those two guys got close together was when Miles Williams ran past the lead runner. This is going to be back up the middle, and it does get up the middle, and a run's going to score on the play as it got off of the glove of Moreno. Coming around to score on the play is Comstock. And now it's 4-2. And Williams is at first base, just as we wondered, and Taylor is giving him wide berth.
And I'll tell you what, on those comebackers to the pitchers, when they don't get the ball, it makes the life of a shortstop or a second baseman that much harder, because you think the pitcher has it and you're going to back him up, then all of a sudden the ball pops out, you lose track of it, and the ball rolls into center field.
It got right past Casilla and then off the glove of Moreno, the shortstop, and rolled into center field. So with 2 on and 1 in, here's Cam Stewart. A fastball is taken. Low, ball 1. We're in the top of the 9th inning, everybody. It's a 4-2 ball game. Pacific's leading by a very slim margin here. Very late. Tying run is at first base. Only 1 away. Casilla comes home. Outside black. Taken. Little slider there. 1-1. Here's the instant replay. On the base hit. Gets past Casilla right there. It comes off his glove. And then you can see Moreno had it go off of his glove. And that's how that play unfolded. Cam Stewart's back in there, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Graphics person 1 and 2. 2 on. Oh, slider just missed away. And now it's 2 and 2.
Now that was beautiful placement by Casilla. Perfect pitcher's pitch, just didn't get the call.
Well, he didn't get Stewart to swing at it, which is what he was looking for. Just something outside of the strike zone. Mitchell Ho is on deck. Here's the 2-2. Chop third base line and foul. Sixth pitch of the at-bat coming up. Man, this is an exciting moment in the game. It got pretty cool there. Then it warmed back up, and now it's starting to get cool again. This game is almost 3 hours old. Breaking ball.
Oh.
Called strike 3. The late call, and Stewart's gone. 2 down. Oh, Casilla is 1 out away from getting it done. Here's the 8-hole hitter, Mitchell Ho.
And boy, was that a beautiful backup slider. You could not have pitched that any better. Was not expecting him to come inside with that breaking ball and just snapped off the corner of the plate.
Well, you're right. I couldn't have pitched it any better. I don't know if Casilla could have pitched it any better. 2 on, 2 down. First pitch is high to Mitchell Ho. Ho walked back in the 5th. Otherwise, he's over. Down in the 2nd looking. 1-0, and a slider is swung on top of it. 1-1.
When Casilla is able to spot that slider in this inning, he has been lights out. No one's making contact.
Rayson Romero is on deck, but right now in the spotlight, it's Mitchell Ho. 2 men on and 2 down in the 9th. Curveball is swung on and missed. And Casilla's down to the final strike. 1-2.
There must be something in the flick of the wrist that Casilla's feeling tonight, and he looks like he's on with that breaking stuff.
Meimersdorf at 2nd. Williams the runner at 1st. 2 away. Jose Casilla the closer against Ho. Curveball. Strike 3 called! And everybody in the place could see it. The late breaking curveball breaks across the hitting zone at the last instant, and the Pacifics win. For the Stompers, 2 runs on 4 hits and 1 error. They left 9 men on. The Pacifics 4 runs on 6 hits, 1 error, and they left 8.
The loss goes to Patrick Conroy.
The losing pitcher tonight is Patrick Conroy, and the winner is Fernando Baez. And here is
Man.
the nasty last pitch of the night on our CMCM Instant Replay, everybody. What a joy it was to call this game. The Pacifics win this one by a score of 4-2. To take over first place, the Pacifics are now 12-7 in the conference, and Sonoma moves to 11-8.
Please remember to
And the Pacifics are all alone at the top of the standings. You can imagine such a thing. The Pacifics have fought very hard, and 19 games in, San Rafael leads the conference in first place. What a night. A pitcher's duel for 6 full innings between Fernando Baez and Patrick Conroy, the San Rafael hero Conroy, who was absolutely flawless tonight. He gave up 1 run, left a couple guys on when he departed. In fact, the bases were loaded, as I recall, when Conroy left the game. But he was both guys were absolutely dominant. What a night.
Yeah, both pitchers were fantastic, and like I said earlier, this game had a little bit of everything. Bench clearing brawls, rule book questions, managers arguing with umpires, little bit of offense here and there. This was just a great ball game to watch. It was so much fun.
It was fun to call. It was fun to watch, and the Pacifics are victorious once again. Well, we have a perfect record for our telecast, and the Pacifics haven't lost on Marin TV's coverage of the 2018 team, the campaign, as it were, as we are happy to report that 1 week from tonight will be our next telecast on Channel 30 here in Marin, and we hope you can join us then. Until then, for everybody here at Marin TV, Scott Calhoun and the crew, yours truly, Stuart Horn, signing off from Albert Park, saying so long and thank you for spending your evening with us. Pacifics win 4-2. We'll see you in a week.